Seems like it's all active. Good, good. Alright. Huh. There go, my +1. I'm not going to worry about that right now. Alright. Hey everyone, welcome back to more Alchemy. We have a deck that I made a while ago. This has nothing to do with any of the buffs or changes, or even Kamigawa. I literally added one Kamigawa card to the sideboard here, but this is a deck that I had a while ago that I want to try out, and now it seems like a better time to try it. I'm like it Forsaken Crossroad. Let me fix that real fast, then we'll do this again. Alright. One more time, this time with meaning. Hey Lambo Droid, how's it going? Gonna do a new deck. 3 more decks today is basically the plan. Maybe 4. We're gonna see how many ideas I have, basically. I don't want to do the basic. I have some ideas that are just absolutely basic, just all zombies, all foretell cards. And I don't want to do that, so I'm going with the more interesting decks. This one doesn't really have anything to do with any of the buffs or nerfs that happen to Alchemy, but it's a cool deck nonetheless, so that's what I'm going with. Hey everyone, welcome to more Alchemy decks. This one was a deck idea I had long before Kamigawa even came out, let alone the new patches, but it was a deck I never got to play because I just lacked the cards. So the idea is Slayer's Bounty can kind of act, the hope is that this can act as your entire removal package. It has all the removal cards you'll need, as well as being just a solid card advantage in itself. So if you have Slayer's Bounty, with some more of an aggressive styled deck, you should be able to just be aggressive, switch over to Slayer's Bounty late game, and just win using that. You just need a few other ways to investigate and therefore make clue tokens. Bribery Tracker makes clue tokens. Antique Collector makes clue tokens. This is a good set of aggressive creatures that can help us with that. So that's basically the first deck, is that it's this fast, aggressive, uses Inquisitor Captain just for more tempo, just forcing our deck to be low to the ground. And then the second deck. So the second part of this deck is if I just find that I can't find the time to use my hand very effectively, Suntail Squadron's going to give me a huge army of Suntail Hawks within my hand. Faithful Disciple could get stuff like Cathar's Crusade, which is going to turn it into a huge board of +1/+1 counters. Or, Grizzled Huntsmaster, I can exile one of the Suntail Squadrons, which then exiles all of them, and I replace it with that many copies of, say, Charmstray. Get a whole ton of lifelink, they all get +1/+1 counters on each other. Maybe I do Scarden Evangel, just have a constant, near infinite recurring of 3/1 clerics to rush down my opponent. Skyglaive Apparition to just blow up their stuff. Or sometimes I could just use Grizzled Huntmaster to just exile, let's say I have an Antique Collector in my hand I don't need anymore, or a Hoofwheel Initiates, don't need those in the late game. And I could just exile that, get that out of my deck, and now I have Sigarda, or I have Ishgana, or, you know, the Skyclave to protect myself. So that's generally, those are the 3 kind of directions that this deck is able to go, or at least that's the intent. It's seen middling, like, whether or not it sees success depended very much on the opponent. It seems like it's definitely not tier 1. Let's just make that clear. But we're going to try it. We're going to enjoy it. We're going to see if this is fun. I will state that I have not taken time to look at the Kamigawa cards too heavily with this, but I don't think that's too important, as is. Alright. Play this tapped on green, because we have a double green right there. I don't need 2 Grizzle Hunt Masters. Alright. So, I think this Expedition Supplier is a little better. Alright. Well, this is one of the big dangers, is that this deck doesn't have too much flying. So if they have a flying threat like so, I can't really do much about that for a while. So I could Grizzled Huntsmaster. Actually, I think that's our solution to this threat. I'm going Grizzled Huntsmaster, getting rid of... I could Brutal Cathar that, honestly. I don't think that's the correct route, though. I think I get rid of my Briarbridge Tracker and get myself the 4... We're going to go Expedition Supplier. We're going to start by attacking, actually. So they're an Angel deck. They probably have a Gonjo, which is what they were thinking of using here. If they have a Gonjo, then Sigarda doesn't help me at all. I don't think that needs to get Brutal Cathar just yet. I'm going to just go with another Plains and Expedition Supplier to start accruing value with it. Alright. So this will give me a dagger, which is basically a plus. Basically, this now has whenever a human comes to play, I get a +1/+1 counter. Well, it's only once each turn, but generally speaking. Alright. If they start playing more threats that make this youthful... Yeah, that's a more prevalent threat than Youthful Valkyrie. That's why I was waiting on it. I'm going to play this Cave because I don't need the others. We're going to take out this Righteous Valkyrie. And I think we still equip it to the Expedition Supplier. I can't think of anything they might have that kills a 2/2 that doesn't kill a 3/3. Next turn, I could Briarbridge Tracker and Antique Collector. So that will be nice. I'm not attacking with Brutal Cathar if they leave the board here. I'm assuming they're planning to Doomscar here. That's my understanding given the current situation. Nope. This is ward pay 3 life. We're not attacking with it anyways. Alright, so we're getting the clue tokens. I might want to attack the Moonrage route anyways, but my understanding is they would have E-Gonjo, because they've already shown one E-Gonjo. They were tapping that because they were planning to play the E-Gonjo or use it some way. That's my call. That's my tell. Anyways, these are now a whole bunch of clue tokens. Oh, I completely forgot about that. I literally was just flipping because I'm like, listen, the potential is more valuable. But yeah. Example of the deck working when it just has a lot of good 3-mana creatures. By the way, I'm not sure if I brought this up, but every creature in this deck is a human, I believe. So that the Expedition Supplier always triggers. Yep, this is an as I said, this is an aggressive deck, but supported by the Flying Squadron and the clue tokens. That's like, but it's on the base a very aggressive deck. Alright. Plains to Hopeful Initiate. Overgrown Farmland to Slayer's Bounty. And we do the Overgrown Farmland because I want to be able to choose the option here if I need to. Alright. So the problem with Slayer's Bounty, I learned this afterwards. It's a legendary artifact, and you have if you have 2 legendary artifacts at once, it basically treats, it just destroys one. It doesn't actually sacrifice one. Alright. I think we just, yep. We play the farmland so we can use this for the color we want later. Our retractor will give us a clue token. And it seems like they're just very low to the ground. So we'll probably want an outflank. Glass casket. Reprobation's pretty nice. Compulsory rest is fine. Expel will work. Fairgrounds Warren should work generally. Alright. I'm gonna actually start my attack with Hopeful Initiate. How's it going, Gasmus? Doing well. Just trying out another deck for the Alchemy event. So, working through. Trying to beat out this deck with aggression. Delver of Secrets does... So here's the thing. Delver of Secrets used to be broken in its meta, but its meta had Brainstorm-like effects where they could control the top of their deck. Our opponent, as you can tell, does not have those. Alright, so they draw and discard, probably discarding the land. Yep. Worth noting, with the Snowlands, I'm expecting a Blizzard Brawl in their deck. I'm assuming they're Fading Hoping? Like, the fact that they haven't flipped past their turn makes me assume Fading Hope. Alright. I'm going to start by looking for a solution to this board state. Summary Judgment is enough to deal with the Suspicious Stowaway. Alright. I do want to play the Summary Judgment. I can't believe it's now just a 2-3. I'm gonna end my turn here, and if they... I'm gonna just basically kill it when they attack, because they had the mana open for a counterspell of sorts. And now they have a counterspell of sorts. I still think the Seafaring Werewolf is the more dangerous threat. Now they have 2 threats, which is an issue, but not as bad of an issue as you'd expect. Blizzard Brawls. Target tapped creature. Okay. I think they kill themselves. Yep. They misunderstood that Blizzard Brawl, you need snow permanents. They only had 2. Alright, great. You'd up 3 damage. Alright, they have a reject in hand, so there's no point in playing the Inquisitor Captain. So we're gonna start by playing the Faithful Disciple. Ooh. It's a question of, do I want the Faithful Disciple countered by the reject? I think the answer is yes, actually. I want them to counter Faithful Disciple. Leave them with no cards in hand, leave the Inquisitor Captain open to do whatever it needs. Alright. And we'll put this on green, I guess. Don't need more Hopeful Initiates. And I could Slayer's Bounty when I need to. So, we're all doing good. They have their Insectile Abomination, but we are up on cards. That's only going to become more true as we go. I could just Luminous Bonds this. Inquisitor Captain is a much more threatening if I just want to finish this game. Do I think I can finish this game, or do I think they're going to counter it? I think if they counter this, it's fine, because I'm going to be able to Slayer's Bounty. I'm playing this one first because, Alright, perfect. We Brutal Cathar. Brutal Cathar. Oh, comes in as a wolf. Okay. They want to counter this one? Alright, they had to negate specifically. Okay. Well, there is good news with this. We now play 2 spells this turn. Which means... flips over, eats their Abomination. And if they don't play a spell this turn, Ruach Cathar flips, and yeah, another lethal. So that's 3 kills so far, I believe. Very fast deck. I'm used to playing slow Sky Turtle decks. I like the slower mid-range that's not technically control yet. This is very much the aggressive mid-range, which is just not technically aggro. So, a bit different of my playstyle, but seeming to work fine. Alright, already has a positive win rate, so we know it's a good enough deck with the current setup. Alright. I think I still keep this. It's Overgrown Farmland, Lair to Antique Collector. We have 2 draws out of land, and we have the Slayer's Bounty. We have a lot of value later. I don't really have time now, so I have to go, but it was nice seeing you. You too, Gasmus. Thank you very much for coming by. Wait, I could... Alright. I had no idea I could flip theirs around like that. Anyways, we have to play Overgrown Farmland first, because we need to play our 2-drop. Interesting. We're allowed to play all the cards. They chose to play just a bad tap land. Do they have life gain synergies? Perhaps they have life gain synergies. Or perhaps they have 70 cards in their deck. And a Scathe Zombies. Yeah, I'm not... I mean, I have to count these because I need to get through my deck, like, play through my games, but these aren't the healthiest. When people are playing Scathe Zombies and Jungle Hollows in a format where you're able to play as many cards as you'd like of any kind. I mean, at least they have the power of kills, and they have a nice amount of cards in their deck right now. If they have some way to bring back their Scathe Zombies, I'm happy for them. I want them to combat trick me. Good job. I'm actually proud of you. This is when it's cast. I still think Teleportation Circle is the pick. Alright. Sunlight. And can I play it untapped? Awesome. Alright. I'm happy Trick because they're captain with the Scathe Zombies. This is a 3-mana 2/2? They have 1 card Foretold. Alright. There we go. And we're just closing them up. Yeah, I'm sorry, opponents. If you can beat me, I'll be proud of you. But it's like one of those things of, you had the opportunity to play any deck you wanted, so I can't feel bad about me wrecking this opponent that doesn't deserve to be wrecked. Yeah. So in case you're wondering, my plan is to Slayer's Bounty, sack the clue, and check if I could get a kill spell for the big ol' worm. Alright, well, that's 4 wins. And so we just have a 5th game, I think. Man, this deck is just moving so much faster than the other one. Yeah, it's hilarious. And like, this deck is slightly more optimized, I'd argue. Alright, opponent goes first. That's okay. We have Hopeful Initiate into Luminarch Aspirant into either of these. Alright, now we're facing another aggro deck, so we actually get to test the worth of this deck. Yep, proper 60-card deck. They're going to play a big creature here, probably. And a big creature that's terrifying at that. Alright. I might want to go on Initiate so I can block the Etching of Kumano. But I'm thinking we might just not be blocking this turn. Take 5? Yeah. Unfortunate. They do get a card. Suntail Squadron, have fun with that. So I'll tab for 1 minute and you've won 2 games. Yep. Yep. Alright, so we can Briarbridge Tracker into a solution. Chandra Dress to kill.
I hope you like your hors d'oeuvres extra.
Alright, unless they have a...
Watch
Alright.
me heat up the dance floor.
So I'm going to start here. So now we kill that.
No.
And
why?
just... Yeah. Alright, so I'm going to Grizzled Huntsmaster. Getting rid of our Briarbridge Tracker. We don't need that value. Oh, I could end the cert... Right, you can't prove that this was removed. I think I still want to thin out my deck. Alright. And we're going to grab the Skyclave Apparition or the Ishkana. Which sounds better against this deck? I think Ishkana is going to just hold them down for eternity. Because I only get 1. And we're going to turn this into a 5/4 so it can block Rahilda successfully. Alright. And now it can't block Rahilda successfully. Alright. So I could Slayer's Bounty, remove 2, kill Etching or something like that, or I could just play Ishkana, try to develop threat, and, you know, develop threat. I am now happy to just block and trade as we need, because now it's just a matter of survival. Oof. Yeah, they had a good aggressive start. So this is a good test, because those 2 spells could be burn spells, like Talon Razor Tyrant, for example. Even if they make the Talon Razor Tyrant have haste, I just block with Ishkana. And that's why I love having Ishkana here. Alright. This is the land that's going to have to get sacrificed. I think it's actually better if I just double Luminarch. Alright, and we are going to sacrifice it. So we want to bring this to 5/7 just for safety. This to 3/4. And I think this needs about a flip to double striking. Oh wait, it's not going to flip because I played 2 spells. Duh. Alright. Hopefully this stops them. I'm assuming a 3 damage burn spell. Yeah, I am assuming a 3 damage burn spell. I'll lose 1 to kill your Rahilda. I accept your trade offering. If I just block with 1, yeah, and I'm keeping Ishkana around 100%. Yep, I will sacrifice Grizzled Huntsmaster to take out Rahilda. The cool thing about a Hopeful Initiate is I could use it to take out both Etchings of Kumano. when I have the mana base. I see. Oh, that's a very slow animation. And here's the hilarious thing: it doesn't make them cost colorless; they still cost their colors. Nice. Yeah, exactly what they're. We're gonna Slayer's Bounty. Alright, a Thundering Raiju. Good to know. Alright, I'm gonna just end the turn here. I could use the Hopefully Initiate to kill an Etching. Otherwise, if they play the Thundering Raiju, I could do responses. Alright. So that's 5-0 with this deck. I will state that these weren't the best opponents. The Suntail Squadron it panned out for my opponent. It didn't even work for them. Grizzled Huntmaster, I do appreciate. If you're playing best of one, so you have the sideboard to pull out, Grizzled Huntmaster is a very underestimated tool. Definitely has the issue that in best of three, it's not always the best. You need a 3-mana 4/3 to just be a good card. But in best of one, yeah, pulling out Ishgana on call was pretty awesome. The ability that I could have pulled out Skyclave was pretty cool. Yeah, good card if your deck supports it. Otherwise, yeah, the aggressive shell works. I don't think any card really impressed me more than I expected. Slayer's Bounty did its job, not more, not less. Yeah, this card is just a lot of cards that do their job. I don't think this is a top-tier deck, but it's a fun deck. It's aggressive without being dumb aggressive, where you just win the game because they can't stop you. I will state, the nerf to Townraiser Tyrant felt good. The nerf of having it at the end of my turn, so I could still play my cards, felt really good. I like the nerf to Townraiser Tyrant now. Townraiser Tyrants feels like a much more fair card. So, happy with that. Everyone, thank you so much for watching. I hope you all have a wonderful day. Alright, next one I believe is Alchemical Anvil I want to try out. Well, our last videos, they took like an hour per video. We're about to do 2 in an hour. Alright. Hey everyone, welcome to another Alchemy deck. This one is built around the card Oni Cult Anvil. It's 2-mana artifact that whenever artifact dies during our turn, we get a 1/1 colorless construct artifact ourselves. And we can sacrifice artifacts to make them lose a life and us gain a life. So, the thing is, while there's no real other artifacts that are around, everything generates an artifact. Voltaren Epicure creates a blood token. Deadly Dispute, sacrifice artifact, get a treasure token. Restless Bloodseeker, whenever we gain life, we create a blood token. Hey, this gains us life. Blood Tithe Harvester makes blood tokens. City Stalker makes blood tokens. Sanguine Brushstroke makes blood tokens. So the only exceptions are Meathook Massacre and Voltage Surge, which are just good, solid removal spells that we could use. We might even want more Meathooks. But this is just kind of, I want to see the deck in its solid form without any support cards. I decided to have 2 Dragonspark Reactors because we're going to be shuffling through a lot of artifacts. So my guess is that these things will be shooting for like 5, 6, 7 damage pretty consistently within just a few turns. Hopefully I get to actually trigger them off. If they have Artifact Destruction, they have more important threats than the Dragonspark Reactor. Sanguine Brushstroke and Meathook Massacre have shown to be just good cards already in the format. And I would say, yeah, if we do well, because every card in this deck is either already a huge card in Alchemy already, or is an uncommon or common, this deck would end up being worth crafting if this deck does well. So, getting that out the bat now, because even though there's a lot of mythics, there's 2 mythics, there's a lot of rares, if you're looking to play to Alchemy, all of these cards are reusable for any black-red deck, basically. Currently, I chose to have no sideboard. This is best of one. I could definitely see Go Blanks. I could see Brittle Blasts. Black-red has a good suite of sideboard options in this format. More meat hooks, things of that nature. So, I'm quite hopeful. I am quite hopeful. Alright. Eye of the Eye Tyrant. Or Voldaren Estate, Voldaren Epicure. Hive of the Eye Tyrant, Restless Bloodseeker. And then Swamp Sanguine Brushstroke. We do lose a life in the process. But that's okay, because they lose a life as well. Fish is going, don't bet the glass! Alright. I think I might just sacrifice them both to immediately transform this and deal more damage. Yep, I like that. And if they kill a creature, I gain life. We have a threat here, we have a threat here. So Zenkin, we could use an artifact. I appreciate it. And we do have a Deadly Dispute if we need it. You can stay home. Alright. So yeah, we can Deadly Dispute to sacrifice if they target something. Alright, that's close enough to targeting something. I'm gonna Deadly Dispute, sacrificing the Voldaren Epic here anyways. Make them lose more life. There's another artifact token. And they lose more life, which is always nice. So they're already at 5 health. Let's just threaten lethal. They're tapped out. Let's just threaten lethal. So I don't kill them this turn. But now they have 2 health left. We have a Hive. We have a Dragon Spark that's ready. Yep. Just enough pressure. Just enough pressure. Took them out really quick. They were going slow. Their first play was Doomscar. Makes sense that they lost. Alright. Also, I should note that was a non-foretold Doomscar. How's it going, Life Alert 666? Glad to have you here. Feel free to ask any questions. We are just trying out the Alchemy decks. There is a... Just for yesterday and today only, they're allowing us to play with all the Alchemy cards we want over on MTG Arena. So that's what I'm doing. Just testing out some decks that I had ideas for, seeing how they fare, and moving on. Alright. I have 2 draws out of land, and if I miss them, I have Deadly Disputes and Onicult Echoes. I'm new, I need help with the deck. Perfectly fine, yeah. I'm going to continue. I want to try this out a certain amount of games before I go away from this deck. But once I'm done with this, I'd be happy to just switch over and just start experimenting with decks, experimenting with ideas, and helping you out. So yeah, I'm perfectly good with that. Happy to help. Alright. So I saw Zenkin. I think I saw Zenkin because I don't really care about coloring right now. And we're going to play Blood Tithe. This I could sacrifice to kill the Eye Twitch if I really need to. Next turn, I could Sanguine Brushstroke, get myself life gain as I do so. And yeah, that was good, because I actually needed the black for Sanguine. Alright. They're also black-red. They have a good old munchy picture. But yeah, if you have an idea, just let me know. I'll see how I can use it to help. They're ninjutsuing. Alright. They gain a bit of life. They're about to get their teeth kicked in. Yeah, nothing they're doing right now seems particularly threatening. Alright, so I'm going to Sanguine Brushstroke. If I sack the Blood Tithe Harvester to kill this, it doesn't actually change the board state. It's just, do I want to make this trade now or later, is basically what that does. I think I'll do it now. Lose them some life, gain me some life. They still have the rabbit battery, but if I draw a land, I could only Cult Anvil, Restless Bloodseeker, sack, lose them a bunch of life, I get myself a construct. Yeah, so this was the expected play from them. Are they also stuck on 3 lands? Another rabbit battery. Alright, I think we Deadly Dispute first, looking for that land. Sacrifice an artifact. Awesome. We got there. I honestly think just more blacks the solution here. I'm actually going to sacrifice the blood token first. This is going to gain me more life. This is going to generate a 1/1 colorless construct. And just continue on the race. They can't attack with the rabbit battery because I just block with a construct. Next turn, double Dragonspark Reactor or Restless Bloodseeker. Alright, so they get a big ol' Eye Twitch. So they have a 3/3 Hayseed Flyer to attack in. And when they play creatures, they will have haste as well. But... Alright, there's the card they needed to play. Alright. Yep, Meat Hook. Because Meat Hook's just a good card. Alright. So, I'm going to do this for... I'll do red this time. Is it untap? Yep. Awesome. I'm going to Dragonspark Reactor into another Sanguine Brushstroke. I think. Yeah. And then we'll sacrifice the treasure token, I think. Yeah, we'll sacrifice the treasure token for now. Get them another 1/1 flyer. Get more charges on Dragonspark Reactor. So Dragonspark Reactor can already kill their Eye Twitch. Like, that's already a thing. Alright, but my Blood Arts is keeping me solid. Keeping my health up as they do all these little tricky hits. Eye Twitch is their only threat right now. Alright, so I get to discard that last card in their hand with, say, Stalker Connoisseur. Make another blood token. I unfortunately do not have the mana to do anything else because I sacrificed the treasure. But I can now use that blood token. Make them lose some life. Trigger all of these effects. And this is the thing. This is just like a little engine that if they cannot interact with it, I will win eventually. So Stalker Connoisseur is a big threat. That's the kind of card I want to see. Next, I'm going to attack. I see no reason not to attack right now. Alright, so I could Restless Bloodseeker, sacrifice the blood, and get the blood back, basically. I'm not sure if playing into the board clear is the correct play, or if I should hold up a Deadly Dispute. I also hold up a Voltage Surge. I think I'm holding up the Deadly Dispute. And we're also going to save this blood token for later. Yeah, I don't care that they're losing life. I'm gaining life as well. I'm pumping up these Dragonspark Reactors. This is already at 7. We're getting to the point where I could just use this to win the game on the spot. So, yeah, I like my routing. I'm also holding up enough presence thanks to Deadly Dispute. We're doing good. Whew. Zumi Prowler. Alright. Death Touch and Lifelink. I'm actually not going to let it die because if the iTwitch dies, they get start from scratch, which can destroy my Dragon Spark reactor. So I'm going to let that thing live. And they just realized how impossible it was to come out of that. Alright, Life Alert, are you... Alright, so I'm going to do a quick break. Life Alert is a person who said they needed help with a deck. So Life Alert, if you're available, if you can pop in, I am willing to help with whatever sort of deck idea you have in mind. Awesome. So yeah, what decks, are you just trying to build a deck from scratch? Are you going with cheap? Do you just want to build with the cards you have? Just like, what's your general idea? What kind of theme do you need help with? I have a list, but I want your opinion. So I have a little, so whenever you have a list, here, I'll show you. So you can go on the lists, so like, that's a chemical Abnfield deck. What I can do is I can hit export, and it will copy the deck to my clipboard, and then someone else can have the deck, and then they just hit import, and it will import the deck over there. One of the best ways to do that is if you go to my, I hate to advertise myself, but if you go down to the description for my Twitch, there should be a Discord. It's not the best Discord, but it's a Discord, and you could just submit, if nothing else, you could just private message me, hit that export, and then you just control paste, and it will end up in my links. So if you want to use that, other than that, you can put that in Ask Me Anything, or you can just private message me directly. So if one of those feels comfortable, so you're in Discord. If like it has a description of me, and it has the little theme with links to the right side. On the right side, there should be one that says My Discord. If not, we can just talk about it. Unfortunately, the deck idea, if you submit to the stream, is a little too... Like, submitting it to the stream takes up, like, so much space it becomes hard to track what's going on. So unfortunately, that's not really a successful strategy. Let me just go on Twitch and check what it is you should be seeing. So let's see. If I go to my channel, I'm streaming right now, and it says About Patient Tadpole, Patient Gaming Platform and Strategy. Over to the right, my YouTube channel, my Discord, and then the other options. So, yeah, if you see my Discord, that's where you would go for that. Otherwise, if you can private message me the deck, the thing is, it doesn't really fit inside the little comment section. So we do have to find a route around that. I don't know. I don't know what to, like, so you are on the screen. You click my name. So my name's over in the corner. You just click the name. Oh, wait, that has a home? About. So the About section is where the My Discord's to your right. Are you on phone? Because that could be a big theme. Yeah, if you're on phone, then I'll be honest, I don't use the phone, so I wouldn't know what you'd be seeing then. If not, if you know how to send private messages through Twitch, I'm willing to allow it for this case, but... You know, not something I'd like to see a habit of, people just sending entire deck lists through the Twitch whispers. But, you know, I'll allow it if you just need a way to send this deck over. But yeah, I can't exactly help you if you don't know how to send the deck over, because that needs to be covered in some way. You don't know if I sent it at all? Did you send it through... Oh, right here. Life Alert. Here is... the full deck. Let's see if this works. Control copy. Import. Input stream contains an invalid line. Alright. Well, anyways, I can actually see the deck either way. So I could... Hold up. Unless I could find that invalid line. Nope. Oh, maybe if I do it like this. Ooh, I think I know why the import's not working. Yep, it's considered one single line, but it's okay. I can actually just copy this over the hard way. We're gonna just do not collect it anyways. Takenuma. We have one Takenuma. Alright, a Cloistered Gargoyle. So the A signifies that this is an alchemy deck that you're building. Good to know. Acerak. Acer. Or Acerak. Alright. For Acerak. Fates Reverse. Dar. Sorry if this is taking a little long, but it's our solution of how we can do it. Bereaved. 1, 2, 3. Undead. Butler. Iganjo. Right climb. Alright. Boseiju. Oh, misspelled it. Centric. Guardian. Savior, specifically. Dark Boar. Varus. Let's see. Where is the issue? Where did I miss a card? So let's see. Barrowin, Takenuma, Boseiju, Iganjo. So yeah, 3-color deck. Nidar, Bereaved Survivor. Did I miss numbers anywhere? Fork-centric Farmer. Yeah, I think this is the deck as submitted over here, which means we are missing... It also says that this deck only has 4 planes. Not sure where the other lands are. So, yeah, I have... Yeah, it is Alchemy. I can tell by the A's. Thank you very much. There are 2 cards missing, and the land count seems a little off. If you can just, in the comment section, explain that to me. Explain what's missing. I can fix it. But other than that, so we have the deck generally speaking. 4 of the dual side lands. Oh, 4 of the, I'm assuming green-white is the one missing. Alright. Let's see, where is the pathway? This one? I'm assuming that's what you were talking about? Yeah, okay, that looks more like it. 4 planes. Alright, alright. That looks closer to what... But it's still 2 cards off. One of each legendary land. Already put in there. Boseiju, Takenuma. Maybe you just had 2 additional lands somewhere. I also don't see any forest or swamp in your deck. Alright. Well, I have 3 forests. Alright, so you just had additional lands. Okay. So... We're going to quickly knock that off. And there's our 60 cards. And we have 26 lands for consistency. Okay. So what I'm going to do, Life Alert, I'm going to just call this... I'm just going to name this after you. And what we're going to do is I'm going to finish what I was doing with Alchemical Allenville. And then I'll come back to play this deck next. Alright? Does that sound good with you, Life Alert? Because I do want to finish the anvil theme before I move on. Alright. But yeah, I'll play your deck, because here's the thing. If you just go to this event, it will just give you the cards to test out the deck if you'd like. I will be playing through it to make sure to tell you where it's like, ooh, I'm seeing an issue here, I'm seeing an issue here. But generally, if you have you have the ability to test the deck yourself if you'd like to try it out first. I played it, but when you're done with your deck, I'd like your help with it. Yeah, perfectly acceptable. All right, yeah, we'll do it afterwards. We'll do it after this. Awesome. Thank you very much, Life Alert. I appreciate your consideration. I appreciate your enjoyment of this. All right. Voldaren Epicure into Hive of Tyrant, Holy Deadly Dispute, or a Dragon Spark Reactor. If I Deadly Dispute, I get a City Stalker Connoisseur early. I think this is good enough. All right. Oof. Hey! Sean MD85, thank you so much for following. I really do appreciate it. Thank you for enjoying the stream. Thank you for just lurking and having fun. Alright. I'm just going to attack, and I'm going to play the Dragon Spark Reactor. Next turn, I can play Forsaken Crossroads tapped, and hold up the Deadly Dispute. Alright. And we are going to put it on black, I guess. Ooh, okay. I think we just Blood Tithe to get ready to deal with Clerics of Life Bond. Alright. And this... yeah, I'll put it on black. Do I need more Harvesters, or is it time... they're going to be a Cleric deck. We're going to want removal against the Cleric deck. Good streamer, thanks for streaming. Yeah, thanks for following. Thanks for enjoying it. I'm here for people... yeah, no, I expect a lot of lurks. Most people who watch videos and channels don't spend their time, like, interacting with chat. They just like to chill and have it on the background, so... alright. So, I can sacrifice this, kill the Clerics of Life Bond. That seems like a pretty nice trade. Alright, so that's on black. So I'm going to put this on red. And I think I'm just going to play another Blood Tithe Harvester, hold up the Deadly Dispute. Yeah, we want to wait for them to thin out their deck a bit more before we cash in the City Stalker, because the less cards they have in hand, the harder it is for them to respond. There is the weakness that these black-white decks run Aura as their top end, and Aura is a 4-mana card, and now they get to play it instead of me killing it easily. So that's an issue. But other than that, love this deck. I had a similar one, Oniko Anvil, with Sanguine is crazy synergy. Yeah, and Sanguine is already like a meta, like it's in meta decks everywhere because it's just so good of a card. So yeah, I just assumed that this deck would be really good. Yeah. So this one is definitely one of the safer picks. This one is, as I said at the beginning, like this deck is worth crafting because every card in it, like every rare in it, while you know, expensive, is a rare. Like every, yeah, they're all, how do I even say it? They're all playable in other decks. So even if you don't play this deck specifically, that the decks will continue to have value. And I am just going to Deadly Dispute my Voldaren Epicure if they do nothing more, because I want to just draw cards, and I don't need a 1/1. Churn. Alright. You like to run... oh, the Red Ronin. Yeah, that makes sense. Alright, so Core Celebrant is now their biggest creature, which means these are all 3-drop. They did that pretty fast, which makes me think these are all lands or 2-drops. I'm gonna just leave as is. The Marauding Blight Priest is not killing me fast enough for me to care. This Skemfar Shadow Sage dies to the City Stalker. I don't need to use Blood Tithe. Dragon Spark Reactor is almost ready to go. Is ready to go off, basically. Well, they just basically saved me 4 mana as far as I care. Alright. That's a good card for them. Took out the Restless Bloodseeker 2. I found it wasn't doing much. The Restless... Oh, yeah, this guy. Good to know. Good to know. Yeah, it's entirely possible that the Restless doesn't pull its weight. I can see that. Alright. Voldaren Estate. So I can... Restless. Sacrifice 2 blood tokens. Alright. Alright, here's my plan. So I'm gonna sacrifice this to kill here. Just make it easier on myself. I can then sacrifice 2 blood tokens. And I can either... How much is that? This costs 3 mana now. So I could create another blood token through that. Or I can flip this, lose them to... Yeah, I like this. Slightly better, even though it's expensive. It applies more pressure on the board. I recognize, as you're saying, it's probably a waste of resources in some ways. But now I basically tell them, hey, we have 2 major threats you have to deal with. Both have 3 health. Alright. With that, they no longer have, like, a win condition. They were definitely flooded on land, so my Sea Stalker hitting a non-land was probably quite devastating to them. Cleric class can be devastating itself. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Alright. Alright. I'm going to attack with all, because I want this Hive of the Eye Tyrant to kill off one of their bigger threats. Which is scarier is the question. Oh, I could get rid of the Rite of Oblivion. Turn. And now I'm threatening lethal, so they have to use their Cleric to charge. Tried Angie here, but found out 4 mana is a little much. I'd rather be doing other stuff than play Angie. And, oh yeah. I could definitely see Angie being better than Restless Bloodseeker, too. That seems legitimate. This is kind of a combo card for a deck that has enough combos as is. Yeah, I wanted to try... I just decided they had too many creatures, so I couldn't stop the Cleric class trigger anyways. So I decided I'm just going to get rid of the card that they can flash back. But yeah, Cleric class is an insane card. We don't have our combo pieces. We might need to just start blooding. Yep. One, two, three, four, 5. All right. So this isn't this is not a good spot to be in technically, but I'm gonna keep going. So what's my streaming schedule like? Very random right now. I am currently working on getting I have an interview for a job, and that's going to just completely shift my streaming schedule around in its entirety. So my stream schedule is whenever I can. At the moment, it's just whenever I can. No need to trade that now. I can now use Blood Tithe Harvester and Sea Stalker to basically kill as I need. And as you're saying, this Burst of Bloodseeker, like, this just being an Anji would be better, and Anji isn't exactly the best here. I got kind of lucky with them getting pretty mana flooded. Yeah, 8 out of 45. 8 out of a quarter of their deck. Assuming they're going with a consistent 24, that would be 6. Yeah, exactly, Sean. I gotta make sure all that stuff is in order. And it's currently not in order, so working on fixing it. Alright, I want them to attack, actually. Make it easy on me. Alright. This can kill the Cleric of Life spawned and allow me to attack in, but I'm not even sure how helpful that is. It's helpful enough. I think we den this time. I'm from California. I've lived my life out here, so... Yeah, I have enough health. I'm gonna leave this as is. I might blood the Bloodseeker. Alright. Perfectly acceptable. Yeah, it seems like they're just running like a raw cleric deck, and they're missing the pieces that would make such a thing good. I think I have lethal now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, I'm throwing in 11 damage. Hey, winter, I'm up here in Canada. Oh my gosh, yeah. So we actually just a few days ago had ourselves a snowstorm. Oh my gosh, it was terrifying. I'm not used to snowy weather of that caliber. Yeah, like, ugh. I don't even know what to say other than it was just really, really bad snowy weather. Alright, I'm gonna look for a kill condition, I think. That's close enough. Alright. So if I attack with Den, I'll have I'll have 2 mana left open. Yep. I think I still do it. Provoke them to trade with the Bugbear instead of any of the other cards. And then they take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I play the only Occult Anvil, bring them to 1, and keep applying pressure. Even a Farewell the Voldaren Epic here finishes the job. That gets in the way of things a little. Only a little. But yeah, no, I could imagine, like, with snow being consistent. Like, there are, snowstorm in California. So here's the... So, Sean Man, one thing you need to know about California is it's actually pretty big. Whether you're in the... Like, I don't like to reveal where I am in California, but I'm not West Coast beaches. There is a lot of California to California. Yeah, no. I don't live near the beach. I mean, I live within... I can drive there in less than a day. That's... If you consider that close to the beach, then I'm close to the beach. But... like, California is huge. There's a lot of different variety in the sort of, themes you could find there. So, that being said, I do live in an area that doesn't snow too often. And this snow, like... So to explain, there's a part where, as I was driving home, there was a 3-lane highway. I didn't realize this because I was just following the truck behind me. But the truck turned left while I was going straight. And I go past the green light, and I realize of those 3 lanes, I can't see any of them. All the yellow lines are just completely covered with snow, and it's like, keep in mind, I drove past here 20 minutes ago. The snow was just falling so fast that I just blocked out all the snow on my way back. And so I just see 3 lanes, so I'm just like, okay, well, that must be the other 2 lanes because there's cars and red lights over there. So I'm just going to drive. Oh, someone in the intersection's coming in. Why are they coming so close? Am I not in my lane? Oh, God. And I remember, like, I just, after a while, like, okay, I see a pair of red lights. That's occurring from me. They seem to be able to see the road. If there's a crash, they're in it, not me. So I just need to follow them. Please slow down, dude. Sir, you're going way too fast. We're going 25 miles per hour on the highway, but still. It was just like all you saw was white. It just... I mean, you probably know better than I do what it looks like, but yeah, it was just... I was not prepared for that. My car that I was driving does not have 4-wheel drive. It was not prepared for that sort of situation. Gosh, I made it back in one piece, but I would not be surprised if there were car crashes around me. I just didn't notice because I was too focused on the road ahead. It was something, and it was sudden. The snow only lasted for like 2 hours, but for those 2 hours, it was dangerous to be on the road. Just straight dangerous. Alright, so I can use this to scry for more lands. I'll accept it. Alright. We're going to put this on black since we have a flip land anyways, and Meathook Massacre wants multiple black. That's good. Empire's Grist is green here too. Yep, I feel like it's what Restless Blood Seeker is trying to be, just immediate instead of over time. I'm gonna play the Bloodseeker first. Yep, that is called Vampire's Kiss. You are correct, Sean. I've played that card a few times in Limited. I do know that card, so... Alright. Anyways, we have a slow start. They have a slower start, but they are a Destroy My Lands deck, which is going to be a nightmare. So we're going to have to deal with that as it comes. Alright. I think I actually Dragon Spark Reactor and sacrifice the reactor to kill the Sanguine Statuette when they try to trigger it. Or... I think I still Dragon Spark Reactor, but... This is tough. I kind of want Deadly Dispute. So I can Deadly Dispute... I can block with the Restless Speaker, Deadly Dispute, Voltage Surge the Treasure Token. Yeah, we're gonna just end the turn here. If they shock this, we Deadly Dispute in response. They obviously have something to do. Even if it's just sack the... And this also means the Sanguine Statuette can't sacrifice the blood effectively. I could even wait to play Voltage Surge if I draw something more important to use the treasure token with. Fearful Villager. Alright. And suddenly I'm not so threatened by my opponent anymore. I'm still sticking to the plan, but... Yeah, I don't need that. Alright, so... Dragon Spark Reactor. Into Oni Colt Anvil. Into Sacrifice the Treasure Token. Get myself a 1/1 Construct. And we move on. I've been wanting to make a Semester's End deck with some Enchantment Sagas, but I only have 2 Semester's Ends at the moment. Ooh. I feel like... So, I think someone described it as... Alright. Sorry, I need to focus on this game real fast. Child of the Pack is here. Child of the Pack can be very threatening very quickly. So we have a werewolf deck with Notvold and Sanguine Statuette. In other words, we have a lot of Gobbledygook that might be good, possibly. And it's a little worrying. A little. Alright. Gonna put this on... Yeah, I'll put it on black, I guess. And we want to scry here. I don't need any more Forsaken Crossroads. Alright, so do I sacrifice the blood, or do I sacrifice the construct? I could attack with the construct, then sacrifice the construct that comes out afterwards to kill the Child of the Pack. I like that. And if they don't block, I just sacrifice the construct afterwards. So now I dealt the damage. And now I sacrifice the construct. There we are. It does sound like fun. I will say I had a Semester's End idea with, back when Vito the Dusk Rose was around, where you use Vito, basically, you get yourself like a cleric board. It's a cleric deck, and then if you can get Vito, use Semester's End, bounce them all. Resplendent Angel causes all of them coming back to play to give you a ton of life gain, and Vito just kills them on the spot. It was an idea I had in mind. What happened was the semester's end was just too finicky, in my case. It does sound like fun. The Johnny in me is excited hearing about it. Alright, Arm Scavenger, that's upkeep. I might just Voltage Surge that soon. Okay. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Alright, I'm a few lands away from just Meat Hook massacring everything, including the Child of the Pack. I think that's the plan. I could actually... yeah, I can Meat Hook for 3, and then Voltage Surge the Child to clear the board. I'm just gonna no blocks. We'll wipe their board next turn. Yeah, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. And then... Alright. Alright. Untap. So we're gonna Voltage Surge this now. Submitting 0, which looks really weird. And then... we Meat Hook for X equals 3. One, 2, 3. Oop. Not anything important right now. Alright. That would work. I had a few veto decks. It's fun. You can also use it at the very end of opponent's turn and then board wipe and then just get all the creatures back at the end of your turn. Yep. Oh, right! Because you could end of turn. You could end of their turn semester's end, and the next end of turn phase happens on your turn. Oh! That's actually really cool. That's actually really cool. Alright. I think this just wins us the game on the spot. Just about. I play enough decks where auto-triggering ends up being a mistake, so I just leave auto-trigger off. It does suck with things like that, but... Alright. Well, then we have a pair of City Stalkers, which is just going to rip out any big threats they might have. And then we're good. I apologize. I realized my phone was right next to the mic. I was just trying to put it away from me so you didn't hear the sound. I realized I put it closer to the mic. Oof. Well, we lost we lost out on 5 damage. We lost on the kill spell next turn, but we are still good on the path of slaughtering our opponent. 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so there's still like 2 lands from here, so it's 7 total. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, they're 2 lands from activating Notvold. So if they activate Notvold, they're dead by that time. Oof. But yeah, anyways, Vito's gone now, so yeah, the semester's end stuff is interesting. Alright. Opponent, you are dead. Right? You can convince me otherwise, but I'm pretty sure you are dead, opponent. I just realized they main decked Sanctify. That's really weird. Also, can I just say we drew 3... We have 3 of our 4 Sea Sucker Connoisseurs right here. Alright. I want more creatures. I want these cards in hand. We're going to just keep up the... We're going to start turning blood into more constructs, because more constructs are going to do more with Meat Hook later. Alright. Well. I think our opponent is, yeah, dead 3 ways. I'm going to play it out, but I'm pretty sure our opponent is dead in 3 ways. Just, it's going to take 2 turns to prove it, is the main issue. Alright. Well, if everyone's having a good day, then here's a good time to relax, and start the people that are trying out janky themes that are a little too janky. But, like, I keep seeing these decks, and it just feels like people are just throwing together cards. They're not even, like, trying to build a deck, it feels like. It's so weird to me. Alright, GG's. I think we've played enough with this deck. We know that this deck is strong. I don't know, just some of those opponents. It's just strange. We know, listen, we figured out, I think we figured out everything we need to know. Sanguine Breaststroke is good. Mimic Massacre is good. City Stalker Connoisseur is good. All of them together, great. Only Colt Anvil, good. Dragon Spark Reactor seemed fine. A lot of times I feel like they conceded because this was too much of a threat. I never actually had the 4 mana to sacrifice it. So I think having 2 of and not 4 of is correct. As someone else has said, Restless Bloodseeker seems to be the weak link of this deck right now. And might maybe switched out for some other card to help make blood tokens. There's a... I'm just going to type in blood. And we're going to see what happens at 2 mana. I think Voldaren Bloodcaster might be the call. It's a 2/1 flying, so that's already pressure. And then when it dies, when it or another creature, so even the Epic Cures, when I sacrifice them, I create blood tokens. Possibly the Falconwrath Forebear, because we're making enough blood tokens that this coming back could be pretty tough for them to deal with. Yeah, it's either the... So I think these are gone. It's the question of Voldaren Bloodcaster or Falconwrath Forebear. Bloodcaster? Yeah, I think so too. So, I think this is the deck how it should look generally. Falconwrath Forebear could be a sideboard card. Anji could be a sideboard card, technically. There's a 3 mana vampire that could probably be a good sideboard card as well. But yeah, just a general solid deck. More meat hooks could be useful in the sideboard, as I was talking about. Yeah. This is a deck that is worth crafting, because if it fails, all of these rares are playable in other constructed decks. Put in 2 times City Stalker? Oh, City Stalker is insane. I'm sticking with 4 of City Stalker. This is like an insane top end. It's basically +2 cards and a blood token, because it takes out their biggest mana threat, which often deals with some serious issues like Discover the Formula and Alchemy. If you're facing that deck, it's gone. It basically trades immediately with Town Razor Tyrant and stuff. And then it's a 3/3 that is, you can't really kill that with easy removal, and it has Death Touch. So if it runs into like a one of Ren and Seven's tokens, it's killing that token in the process. This is such a powerful effect, and then it's still making blood tokens, so it synergizes with everything we're doing. City Stalker Connoisseur, I am sticking with 4 of. If I only have 4, this is better than Anji. I cannot think of a better 4-drop for this deck, and this deck, I think, is not so aggressive that it has to stop at 3. So I'm sticking with 4 of City Stalker Connoisseur. If you need to maintain your rare slots, there are other options. As we were playing with the Restless Bloodseeker, it did not feel bad. It was not the best, but it did not feel bad. And that's an uncommon. Let's see, any other good I'm not sure about... I don't think Gluttonous Guest would make the cut. As you were saying, Vampire's Kiss probably go more aggressive with this. Beyond that, it becomes a lot tougher. Bloodspell Celebrant you could play, but you're probably not going to be too happy about it. If you're playing Falconwrath Celebrants, you're probably on the wrong route. This isn't the deck for you because you just don't have the rare cards for it. Vampire's Vengeance could be a sideboard, but I wouldn't main deck it. But yeah, we know this deck's good. I don't think much more needs to be said about it. Oof. I'm done playing meta. I'm ready to do some jank. Everyone, thank you so much for watching, and have a wonderful day. In case you're wondering, Sean and Life, I do that because I plan to put these videos on YouTube. So I do that to just give myself a good ending for the YouTube video. I'm not done for video. Why is there... Oh, Cosmos Elixir and the... Oh, that's good. I like that. I like that. Cool. Cool. Alright. Red creature that works amazing here. Pay 1 mana. Oh, so Zenkin Smelter. Right. So Zenkin Smelter would be great. That's a good call. That's a good call. Alright. So I'm going to get some water. And then our good friend Life Alert 666 has a deck they want us to test out. And I'm going to look at it because they do want some advice as well. So, given the land situation, I'd say that they're making this deck on the assumption that we have all the rares, uncommons, and mythics that we have that we could access. So, with that in mind, is how I'm going to reveal this deck. I'm immediately going to put in cards that I feel like, if we're allowed to put any cards in here, that we should consider. So first of all, let's do Venture as just like a little tap. So I'm going to put these all in sideboard. So Precipitous Drop is a card that seems like it's good that we forgot. Yeah, they work pretty not bad. They're definitely not top tier, but they have been successful when they play. An Eliwick since we're green. Triumphant Adventure. I don't think Dungeon Descent is really necessary, but like these are 3 cards that are missing from this list that seem like significant misses. Gonna check if there's any others. This would specifically be a sideboard card. With the meta changing as it is, it might actually be meta. Like, playable meta. Let's see. We have Fate's Reversal. We're gonna want, with the Fate's Reversals and stuff, we might want the Dungeon Crawler. Good evening, Joel the guy. We got a person who asked us to build a deck for them, or to play with a deck for them. So I'm just like slowly building myself up, seeing the things that immediately come to mind. So here's the theme. I'm going to bring this up now, but we'll touch on it more later probably. If you're playing Acerak, if you're playing a Sararak, you need to go into specifically Tomb of Annihilation. Tomb of Annihilation is an aggressive deck, is an aggressive dungeon. If you want the aggressive dungeon, you're going to want more early game. So I think when we get to it, a thing that will come up is, do we want to go into more controlling areas, or do we want to go to more aggressive areas? Because if we want to go more aggressive, we need more Acerak. If we want to go in more controlling areas, we remove the Acerak entirely and, you know, add in the Eliwick and stuff. I had a card in mind somewhere. Oh yeah, because of the Fate Reversals on Undead Butlers, there is a certain card, I don't know its name, Veteran Ghoul Caller, which could be good if we go that route. So, whenever a card in your graveyard is put to your hand, conjure a duplicate of that card. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 ways of putting cards from my graveyard to our hand, as is. Also, the Dungeon Crawlers like the Undead Bearers milling them, so that's also a positive. Yeah, that's generally the route I would be aiming towards. So these are 5 cards that I would put in my considerations as we look at this deck. Alright, I'm going to drink some water, I'm going to take a deep breath, and then we'll start working on this deck. What cards put them into your hand? Alright, so So Veteran Galcaller, when a card in your graveyard is put into your hand, conjure a duplicate of that card. Fate's Reversal, return a creature card from your graveyard to your hand. So it just straight up does that. Undead Butler, when it dies, you may exile it. When you do, return a creature card from your graveyard to your hand. And then Veteran Goldcaller is already a 2-mana 2/1 rogue with Menace. So if we want to do that, yeah, don't worry about Joel the guy. Honestly, we've been streaming more Magic than usual. I have not done a speed run for like a month now. So the next speed run's going to be very rusty, and it's going to be probably not next week, but the week after, because next week I'm just going to be focusing on some job stuff. Yeah. Oh yeah, and Dungeon Crawler as well. Dungeon Crawler, when we complete a dungeon, it comes back to our hand. So that's 8 cards, basically, that loot back. Also the Dungeon Crawlers, as you have more in your grave, more come back to your hand, and it causes like one of those loop chains. So Guardian Savior kind of tells me that we want more creature cards with mana value 2 or less. We currently only have 8, and one of them exiles itself from your graveyard, so that doesn't exactly work. So I think this Guardian Savior doesn't really work when you have this many 3-drops. The Bereaved Survivor. Yeah, so this looks like it's half an aggressive deck and half a control deck, and we got all the mid-range pieces, and we forgot about the control pieces. There's also this self-mill synergy that doesn't really have a reward for all the self-mill. So it's like, I will say this, Eccentric Farmer is good in Limited because it's +1 card. In Constructed, 3-mana 2/3 draw card is actually kind of below. Constructed, you're dealing with 3-mana 3/3 Vigilance, buff the squad, venture dungeons. Like, you need to be really good to be in Constructed as just a on-rate card and a non-synergy card. And this card is supposed to be played as a synergy card. So, Eccentric Farmer and Bereaved Survivor just seem like cards that aren't on rate with the rest of this deck. So that will give us 7 spots that we could probably pull out for other effects. I might honestly just cut out the green. Either if we want to go more controlling, going with Varus and pulling in Eliwick as well could be a good suggestion and a good way to make this Abzan deck work. But if we want to go more aggressive, I think we just stick with the solid black-white format. But for now, we are going to play the deck as is. And when you have your idea of what you want to do with it, we will then start switching around the deck a little bit. But I'm going to play at least 3 games with this. The week that comes after the next one is a 1-week vacation for me. Awesome! Depending on how the interview works, I might be spending that week getting used to the job, but on the time off, I can do that. So, whew. Alright, let's actually get to this deck. Hey everyone, I got a deck suggestion from a person in chat named LifeAlert666. As we were able to use all the Alchemy cards, I decided to pull out their deck and try it out. They did say that they needed some advice working with his deck, so I will note that there are some things that I'm nervous about. Like, the Eccentric Farmer doesn't really have a reward for the mill other than Undead Butler. Guardian Paladin pulls out mana value 2 or less creatures from the graveyard. Because Undead Butler is exiling itself, we basically only have Cloister Gargoyles. So there is some stuff that gets me a little concerned. Acerak is being used as usually an aggressive card, but here the curve really ends at, it's 2.7, it's actually pretty high for, it's a mid-range deck instead of an aggressive deck. But I want to try it as is. I want to actually play it to see what the issues are. I did put the sideboard sub-cards I had as consideration of how we could shift this deck around, but we're going to play it as is. Land base is pretty... already found one. If we don't care about the cost of this deck, if you're a Alchemy deck, you should be running 4 Forsaken Crossroads. And what's our last land? There we go. Alright, because yeah, 4 Forsaken Crossroads is an Alchemy-only land. But understand, the more colors you have, the better this is at mana fixing. The fact that you could come and play as an untapped land like all of these, if you go second, is great. The fact that Scry's 1 is already good enough because it helps you fill your deck, especially with these more mid-range decks where you have a 2-drop as your first play. If you start with a 4-second Crossroads, you could Scry the first turn and fix everything up for yourself. So, Forsaken Crossroads is an immediate addition. That is very much a theme of, do you have the rare cards for it? For now, we are just working as is. If Life Alert wants to make this more purchasable friendly, we can shift it around that way, but otherwise, we are just working with what we've got, and we're just figuring it out. So we'll play it now. We go first. We have green, black, white. Alright. So here's example. I'm going to play the second Crossroads on black, use this white later. Black. Barrowin is our 4-drop. Let's go to Venture, and then Nadar's going to make sure we're done with the dungeon very soon. I will say I'm already kind of saddened by the fact that our first Venture is going to be at Nadar, so it might be a little too slow. Alright. There's Acerak. There's the Cloister Gargoyle. Alright. I'm trying to think if I can complete how quickly I can complete the dungeon, and the answer is not fast enough. Next turn is Nadar, hands down. I don't really have a choice, as far as I care. Alright, puts another Undead Butler in there. Alright. With all these Cloister Gargoyles, I am somewhat considering just getting the Cloister Gargoyle now, but I think, as is, we should stay the course. Nadar, we want the Cloister Gargoyles to have attack power, which means we actually need to finish it off. Alright. Alright, I have the plan. We're gonna go here, and we're gonna use the storeroom next turn to solve the situation, to basically put a +1/+1 counter on the Cloister Gargoyle, so it can block effectively. Alright. It does mean that Acerak's not going to be active for quite some time, but that's okay. We do need to stop these Wind Robbers mills, because we don't really have rewards for all those cards at our grave. Alright, we're facing a mill deck. We're facing just a raw mill deck. Alright, I'm going to start by attacking. Could finish the dungeon turn 4, something like that. I didn't know that this deck was going to be a mill deck specifically, so I was not preparing for that. I just realized I messed up. I want to Fate's Reversal so that I could put the Cloister Gargoyle, to put a +1/+1 counter on the Cloister Gargoyle. But I messed up. Oh well. I'm going to submit there. Build a wide threat board. Now Cloister. Yeah, I could have faded to the dungeon turn 4. I thought they were actually the Rogues deck with probably, with ninjas. So I was preparing for that and did not actually go to Tomb of Annihilation. Alright, we need double white for Guardian, so let's get that ready. Whoever I have on top is getting milled anyways. So we keep it on top. They think, ooh, I need to get rid of that card. And it's just a land. And they let me have it, then they're not milling, which is also a positive for us. We can bring back the Undead Butler. And that's it for the Sigardian Savior. Alright. But we have a 4/4 flyer now. I just realized, ooh, they had to bleed it dry, exiling it, so I can't even use it. Do we even want to block a draw card? Alright. They milled the land. I feel good about that. now we go into Tomb of Annihilation, because they're not killing us with damage anyways. And Acerak, we want to use Acerak once, oof, how do I say this? Once we complete the dungeon, because using it prematurely doesn't really help us much. I will grab another green because I don't think there's anything in our deck that's double black. Sacrifice a creature. Discard a card, sacrifice a creature, artifact, and land. We discard the Guardian Savior. Actually, I think I just want them to lose... I want them to discard cards or lose life. And we can lose life happily. Like, I think that's actually a better reward for us. Alright. So I'm actually going to keep this on top, because we want to make sure the more costly cards are on the top of our deck in case of Tasha's Hideous Laughter. Alright. Poison Cups. Alright. And our 2-drops are still just Undead Butler. So yes, Guardian Savior being unplayable is definitely a signal that there's an issue here. Alright. Force them to probably sacrifice a land. And yeah, I'm always good losing life because they're not killing me that way anyways. Playing Barrowin is more of a threat than Acerak, which just bounces itself because of the way it works. Alright. Yeah, we need at least one more 2-drop in this deck. Alright. And then we complete the dungeon so we could actually play Acerak. So, the change to make Acerak good, it should have been, when it enters the battlefield, you venture, and then if you haven't completed Tomb of Annihilation, you return it to your hand. It should venture every time. When it enters the battlefield, it should immediately venture. The fact that it's either a 3-mana 5/5 or it ventures, and the fact that you needed to go through so many hoops already, I will state that Acerak is not the best. We're going to edit this down. The very creator of this deck suggested that we needed more 2-drops. So, in our options, we have... how's Veteran... Do you want to try out the Veteran Ghoul Caller approach? So my idea is we will rip out the Eccentric Farmers, or the Bereaved Survivors. Yeah, Eccentric Farmers. And we're going to put in more Veteran Ghoul Callers, or Dungeon Crawlers. Which one do you think? How about we do a little of each? We'll do... I tried the Survivor. The Bereaved Survivor, I think they felt slow. Okay. Let's pull out the Bereaved Survivor. I'm going to put this in the sideboard so we don't lose it. And then I'm going to throw out the rest. Throw ourselves another Veteran Ghoul Caller. I'm going to go to the full 3 and... Shouldn't have lost it. We'll leave that in the sideboard for should we end up using that later. But we're going to try out Veteran Ghoul Caller because we have, with Barrowin, like 12 effects to breed back creatures. Oh, also the Sigarden breeds them right back to play, but still a similar effect. This will increase our value. I will state bringing back a... how do I say it? Bringing back a legendary creature to our hand isn't the most significant thing, since multiple copies of a legendary don't really help us, but... Alright, we go first. So this is one of the dangers of having a double green, is that we have to, like playing Varys. If we play Varys, playing Barrowin is going to be really hard. I think we keep it, but I need to put this on green, and then we kind of have to just pray that thieves work their way out land-wise. And we might just keep that because that helps us do just that. Yeah, I'm keeping the land because it's going to solve our land issues here. Definitely feel like the Varus splash. If it's just Varus, not Eliwick, not any other green cards, I find the splash a little hard to justify. It's a very good card. Like, no denying it, this is a very strong card. This makes it, if your Venture deck is green, this makes it. It's just a question of, oh, the farmer as well, right. Alright, well, we'll leave it in for now. See how it fares. Alright, we are going first, so we have the tempo on our opponent, despite starting on turn 3. So, should be alright. We'll have a moment to see if we're the aggressor, and therefore head straight into... Alright. So they are a life gain deck. I might just want to go to 2-mana Annihilation to keep their life low. Alright. I will trade with the Clerics of Life spawned, because we have another Varus we can just play right after. So we are just missing our white, which is right there. Alright. Giving them some tough options. Because, yeah, if they play another card to gain this theme life to a 3/3, they trade with this, but they don't realize that that's a positive as far as I care. I have a feeling they're playing the old rogue. There's a deck with... There's a 4-mana card. Yep, Glasspool Mimic. That's what I was expecting to see. There's a Glasspool Mimic combo that doesn't work anymore. That used to work. If they don't attack, I'm going for value. If they do attack, I'm blocking. Don't need more of those. Alright. So I think to be mana efficient, I'm going to Fate's Reversal to bring it back and Venture. I'm going to make sure they can't use Righteous Valkyrie to get themselves all the health they want. Alright. If I get one more land, I could Cloister into another Varus or something of that nature. If I don't, I could Barrowin. We figure it out as we go. Alright. So yeah, the idea of this deck is there's a 4-drop that if you have enough 3-mana drops, it like has a bunch of... All I can really say is it has a bunch of value, and they snowball it, as seen here. Alright, Skyclave Cleric. They attack with a 4/4. This one I'm taking, because this trade is not positive for me. Alright, this is another black. We'll start with Cloister Gargoyle. Yeah, we'd have to sacrifice the Varus, so no. We're gonna lose 2 life. We're gonna lose 2 more life. And this is why Acerak should have been the other way around, because then we could play Acerak, and we'd actually have a 5/5, and this would be a threatening position for all the cost of playing Acerak. There we are. We are now active, and we kept them low enough on health that we could still pressure this board. We have a 4/4 Death Toucher. We're about to have a 5/5 that... Yeah, Acerak just having 5 health, no haste, no menace, no... Will his effect still trigger? No. So it would venture to the dungeon. Okay, so it would venture to the dungeon. That trigger was already on the stack. That's what would have sacrificed him. So it still would have triggered. We would not have gone a wolf. And I just don't think that was... I don't think it would be worth it. Not for 2. We would also have to sacrifice a land. We'd have to discard a card. I was not going to spend that much resources. It would have allowed us to have Acerak in play right now. That is a theme that I missed out on through that play. None of these creatures are big enough to... Work with Aura. This one can allow me to keep flying in for power. This thing has Death Touch? Yep. We have a second Varus in our hand anyways, though, right? Yep. Alright. So I think I play this because it allows me to tap with everything and just wreck their face in. It might have been the correct answer. You are correct, Life Alert. It could have been the straight up correct answer, but I do not regret my decision. Not yet, anyways. I'll leave Varus home, I think. I think they have to block this. I think we're applying so much pressure, they just have to block. Yep, okay. And they're planning to get back their Cleric of Life spawned. This thing is now going to be a 4-4. But this thing's just going to stick as a 2-2, and they're not getting health off of that effect. They're still in a high-pressure situation. We take 4 damage. We continue venturing. We probably just barrow in to get our venture completed again. Yeah, this is the problem. Acerak just was a 3-mana venture to the dungeon right now. Unless we're being very... Like, Acerak is just... The fact that you have to complete the dungeon to play a 5/5 that does nothing immediately on board makes this card bad in a really unfortunate way. And I'm sorry, Acerak. I don't mean to offend you, but it's true. You know. Alright, so this is what the deck's built around. Quizzer Captain, they need 20 cards that cost 3 or less that are creatures. And so the idea is their entire deck is creatures like Righteous Valkyrie and such. I could have played if I went the right path. You are correct. You are correct. I could have played Acerak, but I would have sacrificed a lot of resources. I'm not sure it would have been worth it because they're getting 6/6s and all these other big bodies. Alright. If they attack with Hollow Priest. Alright. I can block the Clerics of Life spawned. Kill that. And then... I mean, I have to block. We're going to kill if we block. I can Acerak. Let's see, where are we? Alright, so I can play Barrowin. Sack a land. Okay, got it. So I want to sack the tapped black when I'm done here. Yes. Sack the tapped land. This comes to play. Ventures. We get our 4/4 black God of Death. So the God of Death gets to kill a Hollow Priest. Cloister Gargoyle has to block the Righteous Valkyrie right now, because their Varus can't even attack in right now. Alright. Yeah, the problem is, like, right now, as you can see, we haven't found an opportunity to play Acerak. Acerak. We'll try it next time, but this card just... The amount of... This is not a 3-mana card, is basically the main issue with it. Like, playing on 3 mana is so horribly daunting. And the I'm gonna withhold my reservations of Acerak until we get to play them once, and we get to see if the issues come up. So now I can block the right... If they have a kill spell, I'm dead. They have a kill spell. Oh, wait! Varus has reach. Thank you, Varus, for having reach. Perfect. And they kill the one I have a duplicate of in my hand. You can summon an Acerak with a 4-mana card. If he's in the graveyard. Nope. He enters the battlefield, and that effect immediately happens, and he returns to your hand and ventures into the dungeon. If he's in the graveyard and the dungeon is complete, then yes, but otherwise... Alright. So I am at a complete dungeon right now. So, let's see. I'm going to play Varus. Attack with these two. Barrowin is kind of suiciding themselves. Alright, we're just going to have Barrowin suicide themselves, I think. Because this is valuable enough. I can't Tomb of Annihilation because I can't take the life loss. So I think I just lost mine at this point. I do kind of sacrifice the Barrowin, but I kind of threaten a kill spell. Need that little 2-1 that the first strike dude in here? That's what I think as well. I think that is... You know what? Why did we put the Gravecaller instead of that guy in? Yeah, we're going to switch those out. But first, we have a game in on our hands. I'm not going to get rid of... For now, we're going to see how the splash works. I mean, we were able to play Varus. It didn't stop us from playing our other cards. So, for now, we can maintain the green splash. But in the future, that is a consideration, Sean. Alright. But yeah, I think we put in the Veteran Ghoul Caller, and that should have just been the Triumphant Adventure. Alright. Cloister Gargoyle still blocks the Righteous Valkyrie. Alright, here we go. Now I play Acerec properly. And we'll be trying that out next turn. I am leaving my Cloister Gargoyles up because the Righteous Valkyrie will stop with the kill. If they have one kill spell, Righteous Valkyrie kills me. Even if I get the swing back for lethal, it doesn't work right now. Yeah, 3-color decks are just straight tough to run in Standard. That is straight correct. That being said, this is not Standard, this is Alchemy. We have Forsaken Crossroads. We do have options. Alright, creature gets -4, -0. So now, even if they have a kill spell, this will not win them the game. 2, 3, 4. I have plenty of blockers. If this attacks, it just dies there. So we're going to bring them to 2. And then next turn, hopefully, threaten lethal. Alright, we still threaten lethal. And now we don't even have to deal with the Righteous Valkyrie. We do have to deal with the Cleric of Life spawn, but it's not as big of an issue. Even if they kill Nadar, the 2 Cloister Gargoyles threaten lethal, so they need to kill the Cloister Gargoyles. Barrowin currently brings back nothing, but it can bring back the Nadar should they do something about it. Yeah. I'm glad the Righteous Valkyrie is dead, because that's stopping them from gaining enough health to get back to make this unstoppable in this game. Alright, Spellbinder reveals that I have a land and does nothing else. I'm still threatening lethal with a double attack. They can bring back nothing with the Elite Spellbinder sacrifice. So we do not respect it. If they attack, block and kill, and depending on how they do the blocks, I can just use Barrowin to attack and get it back. Alright. Yeah, Veteran Gravelcaller was not the correct choice. Nonetheless, this threatens lethal, so they have to block with their flyer. I don't know if there's a discard effect, but I'm keeping that up anyways. We are just threatening lethal slowly and surely thanks to Cloister Gargoyles and Nadar. Because if they kill Nadar, Barrowwind brings it back as long as they don't Vanishing Verse it. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That was the correct move. I think that was the correct move from them, though. Do they have a 5-drop? If they have an Angel of Destiny, this was a fantastic play. If they do not have an Angel of Destiny, they might have just killed themselves. Some of these decks do not run 5-drops. Just straight out. So if they do not have a target for Aura, they just ruin themselves. But I've played this deck before. I once ran Angels of Destiny to help out with that side. This isn't good game, but it's game darn up there. That's why. Alright, I'm going to attack with Acerak, knowing that I will get it back. Alright, we'll get the zombie. And then I get to play Acerak afterwards. It's Acerak, I know. It's just. Alright. Guess who just realized they killed themselves? Oh, thank God. So I just realized they're at 9 health, not 8. So if they just don't block with the Righteous Valkyrie, we kill ourselves. So we actually just end turn, threatening that we have an answer to Righteous Valkyrie. Because yet Pyre of Heroes allowed them to get the resources they needed. Playing Acerak would not have given us another venture, so we were just in a bad spot. We cannot block the Righteous Valkyrie, we lose the game off of that 2 damage. In case anyone's wondering why I just conceded there. Alright. We held our own pretty well. Perhaps playing the Acerak early could have worked. But, yeah, exactly, it happens. It was my personal mistake. I'm happy to hear that. We're going to put that Veteran Goldcaller back. And we're going to bring in the Triumphant Adventure instead. I don't like having these stuck in my hand, so I'm knocking this legendary down to 3 and putting a 4th Triumphant Adventure in. That is just a decision I'm making. I know that I want to play the deck as Life Alert wants it to be played, but I am not very high on Acerak. Acerak seems like it's several knobs too flawed. And we cannot play this hand because we have no black, and all our early game is black. Alright, we have a white into a black. And this Varus is unplayable. Okay, we are starting to see the weaknesses of having these color combinations. Alright. I want to play the Forsaken Crossroads on green, in case we get Varus. So I'm just not, I'm just not playing the Forsaken Crossroads, so we're not scrying yet. Alright, we're facing another Clerics. Alright, Triumphant Adventure. We'll see how this fares this time. Yep. Black-White Clerics, so in case you're wondering, Black-White Clerics is a solid deck that's easy to build and pretty cheap as well. So people generally play a lot of Black-White Clerics. Thing is, they might be more aggressive than we are, so this might not even be the best dungeon to go into. That being said, this Eccentric Farmer being a 2-3 is actually good enough here. I have enough green. I think threatening them with Iganjo is fantastic. So yeah, I will say Eccentric Farmer with these spell lands are pretty good, but I'm not sure if we could just justify being in green just for that, is basically the issue. There is a lot of, we could go into more self-mill direction, but we need to actively decide that. I think one of the things is, yeah, with this deck, we need to decide which direction we are going in. Self-mill, mid-range ventures, or aggro ventures. Because there's a route in each of those, but they can't all work together. Well, they were just main decking environmental sciences. Okay. The mill's there to put Acerak into the graveyard and have him pulled by Barrowin. I mean, look. In Tomb of Annihilation, we're already discarding a card. If we need to get Acerak in the graveyard, discarding a card here, discarding a card here. If we want to use that, we already have solutions. Alright, so here's my plan. We're playing this. We're going to put it on green, but we're going to scry and then sacrifice the land to get the Oubliette triggered. Fate's Reversal. We don't need that. Alright, now I can't do that because if I... Alright, so I'm attacking. If I sacrifice a creature, an artifact, and a land, then I don't have the plays with, yeah, I just don't have plays. I have to go this way now, because they exiled that creature, actually. Yeah, I don't need this many lands, though. Even if black is a good land. And I'm going to save Iganjo to kill a Luminarch Aspirant if they try attacking. Oof. I mean, they see Iganjo in my hand. They know that's not going to work. Okay, that one will work. Alright, so we're going to start with Eccentric Farmer. Bring back a Gonjo again. Actually, that's pretty cool. Okay, that's actually pretty cool. They were scared of the Eccentric Farmer before. Let's bring it back. And this time I'm just going to lose 2 life. Well, here's the thing. Precipitous Drop is good even in aggro, because it kills all of their creatures that they'd want to block with. Like, you can be aggro and still play Precipitous Drop, so... I think even if we run it, we're not, like, in trouble. Their unwillingness to sacrifice 2 health. I mean, I respect it. Also, you're a fool. Aggro is all creatures. No, I mean, there's been aggro burns. There have been aggro burn decks. Aggro just means that you win quickly, that your curve probably tops at like 3 mana or so. It does not mean that you're all creatures. In fact, plenty of aggro decks of the past have had like very few creatures. Just like quick 1-drops, and then the rest of it is just value cards, basically. I think we just go back and do them. Yeah, exactly. I saw no good way for them to block this. Okay. Yeah. Yep. I know it stands for... Yeah, I know it was obvious, but I'm saying that, like... aggro creature decks, the reason we believe that you probably believe that, is Throne of Eldraine had an aggro deck that was only creatures. But like cards like Shock and Royal Eruption and all of those cards are generally what's seen in aggro decks. Yep, and this is why I kept aggressing him, because Righteous Valkyrie is going to start accruing a ton of value. So I still have a white up, so I can still do the Gonjo loop. Alright, that's exactly what I wanted to see. Alright, so I ventured to the dungeon. Don't lose more health. Health is a resource. And we're going to get Nadar. Unfortunately, we have to keep that one. Let's see how they respond. They know we have a Gonjo. They may not realize that costs us a single white mana to activate. Haste would also be used in an aggro deck. Yes, yes. Creature decks can be aggro decks, but aggro is like... There have been aggro decks that are just like Lava Spikes, Shocks, and those sort of cards. Alright. So we tempoed them out there, and the Cedric Farmers actually pulled a lot of work there. Surprisingly, those Cedric Farmers did a lot of work here. So, definitely if rares are not an issue, I do like Triumphant Adventure a lot. Yeah, I think the Sigarian Savior is probably the weak link in this deck right now, but we're gonna keep playing for now. I think, a lot of considerations I have to think about. Aggro basically just defines a win condition. Alright, opponent goes first. We have one playable. We have like 2 playables. I'm going to actually throw that back. Alright, so here's one of the challenges of this kind of deck. We cannot play Triumphant Adventure on 2 and Varus on 3. It is impossible. Right. Usually doesn't have removal, mostly damage and haste creatures. Yeah, no, I love the conversation. Please, keep talking. But generally, aggro just is defining a win condition. It only interacts with a board enough that... Okay, that's funny. That was actually kind of cool. But aggro basically is built to just interact with the board enough to stop them from Basically, your job is to stop them from stopping you from going face. That's how you would define... That's how I define aggro. That being said, we are facing the aggro deck ourselves, and Eccentric Farmer missed. Oh boy. I mean, they're the aggro deck, so I don't want to go into Tomb of Annihilation. Yeah, the problem is, they seem to, with Reinforced Ronin and High-Speed Hoverbike, I'm assuming they want to be very aggressive. So going to Tomb of Annihilation, losing out on my resources, would be an issue. Oh, tempo deck, yeah. Oh my god, was I just describing a tempo deck? Also, what the heck? This is... Why are you running such an aggressive deck and then Cosmos Elixir? They're literally trying to throw me off, and that's it. Alright, so I have to go 3 green for Varus, and now we don't have the black for double up here. I'm going to take the treasure token so I can double play next turn. Oh! I can double play this turn. Why don't I force Tomb? I am not forcing Tomb because they played Reinforced Ronin into High-Speed Hoverbike, and they would generally kill me much faster than I could kill them. Then they played Cosmos Elixir. Alright. Undead Butler, draw a card, get my Wolfie. And now we'll go in Tomb, since it seems like they are a very different deck than they claimed to be. Alright, now we go in Tomb. And since we can finish Tomb with next attack, we are going to go the short route. That's already triggered. Alright. We're gonna just end the turn here. We'll use this to trigger next time. Yep. So, In Search of Greatness is good if you're, if Scrying 1 is valuable in the deck, or if you have just such, like, the pristine curve. I guess the Cosmos Elixir, the attempt is to try to get said pristine curve, but they faltered. And I punish. This deck just doesn't have a game plan. That's all I can... This deck does not seem like it has a game plan. It's literally just cards. Cards that they like. Because Cosmos Elixir is legit, but not for this kind of deck. Why did they not crew it with Prosperous Innkeeper? Leave the battlefield. Oh, that's cool. That's actually pretty cool. Great idea, splash of blue instead of green for that gold creature. Venture twice. Alright. I might sacrifice Undead Butler. I could bring back Barrowin, but I can't play it. We're gonna climb for now. Alright, 4/4, that touch. Alright. So I probably am gonna go into a different dungeon here, because we have that ready, and, we now just kind of want to apply board pressure, because we already have the Cradle of the Dead God triggered. We're going to be finishing in another dungeon before they do anything to stop us. So I'm going to leave this on top because I'm going to play Undead Butler. I don't want to lose too many good cards. Alright. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, maybe that was a mistake, because They should have... Yeah. I just realized that was a mistake, because I'm bringing them, to this turn, so they would have had to discard a card. Or use the Oni Colt Anvil to sacrifice. So I actually should have gone... I was just afraid because we were getting to 12 health, and I just thought that would just keep escalating as we go. But yeah, they'd be at 2 health. I'm gonna play it still. Health is a resource, Kappa. Yep. I do agree with the statement. I didn't know how much of the resource we had left. Alright. Well, they need to Doomscar us in their green-red deck. Alright. So yeah, there you see the problem with Farmer sometimes. If you don't have the graveyard already covered, the milling a land can miss, and it's just a 3-mana 2/3. If the goal of the Farmer is to put Acerak in the graveyard, the discarding effect from going through the tomb is good enough. I do like the idea of bringing Acerak through the grave to cheat it out, but it doesn't cheat past the effect of the hard enter the battlefield effects. And we have to throw back this hand because our first play is on turn 3. Here we are. Alright. One, two. We can't get Acerak in time. I'd rather just Eccentric Farmer and go for some bin strat. Alright. Playing this on white first. Alright. So this time, even if they're the aggressive deck, I'm still going to go into Tomb of Annihilation. Because... Why did I have to say it out loud? But yeah, this is generally a hyper-aggressive deck. And I can't block this creature, even with Eccentric Farmer. And they could turn into as much as a 5/5 on turns. Okay, maybe it's not a hyper-aggressive deck. Maybe it's just a landfall deck that they threw together. When you see... There are some cards that you see and you just question. You just question why they're in the deck. Reclaim the Lane Waste is one of those cards. It does... Unless the dungeon completed is specifically Tomb of Annihilation. Alright. Life Alert, I really want to go into Lost Mine of Phandelver. But if you want me to go into Tomb of Annihilation, I will. Because Lost Mine of Phandelver will guarantee that we could get a land near the top for Eccentric Farmer. And it will make sure we don't die to the aggression they're pulling on us. Up to me? Okay, we're going Lost Mine. We'll go into the other one later. We want a land on top, which is where it is. Good. Eccentric Farmer can block a Kumham. That's what it blocks. Yes. Just guarantee there's a land in there. Grab Boseiju, because Boseiju is cool. And it's also forced if I need it. I should have grabbed the plane so I could double Chorister Gargoyle next turn, and I would have flipped it already. Alright. So I can't block the 3/3, but I can block the 2/3. I can block the 4/5. Ooh, new plan, new plan. Alright. So, Chorister Gargoyle. Use it to generate a treasure. So instead of generating a creature, I'm going to generate a treasure token. Mulch instead of a farmer. The 2/3 body is honestly significant. Now we can use this treasure to play the other Cloister Gargoyle. I will then -4 down the Brush Fire Elemental, so they won't be able to attack with it next turn. Now I draw a card. The Cloister Gargoyles are now 3/3 flyers. Punished slightly. Somewhat significantly, actually. There we are. Brushfire cannot really attack. Ukum Hellhound will get double blocked and killed. And then I can play Barrowin. Oof. Alright. Alright, so they just have lands in their hand. But they haven't resolved these lands to anything of value, is the main issue. They just have a lot of forests. Alright. Alright. Again, they are the aggressor. I'm going into Dungeon of the Mad Mage. We will get through this. I promise you. But yeah, this is generally why Acererak is a problem, because if your opponent is more aggressive than you, you have to abandon the post, and Acererak has no solution to that. It's just a 3-mana looping effect. We have enough mill. We do not need the 1/2. I'm going to Branch Loft so we can threaten Boseiju. Alright. See, as these Reclaim and Lace put lands in their hand, but they don't have a way to develop them onto the board. And as long as they don't have a way to develop them onto the board, 4 lands in your hand don't do much. There's an elemental that's like a 7-drop that they might be playing for. But that's the only thing I could think of. Alright, I'm going to start with Eccentric Farmer. I'm going to tap like that, because we have another black if I need it. Alright. Oh, target creature can't attack me. I didn't even realize I was getting that one. Alright, but yeah, now we're just basically locking them down, and we are the control deck because my opponent is such the aggressive deck. And the ability to switch like this, using Ventures, is what makes Venturing powerful. And it's why I feel like Acererak is limited in an additional way. What?! I didn't bring back my creature somehow. Well, that was unfortunate, to say the least. I think we still win. I think we still win anyways, but that was sad. One, two, three, four, five, six, 7. So they might have that creature now, but they can't play it. And this time it's lethal. So now they have to start blocking or doing something other than just playing lands and taking their turn. Because that's all they've been doing this entire game. Ooh, okay. Cloister Gargoyle, and we want this milled, which we can do pretty soon. Oh, we're going to do it right now, actually, in fact. Yep, now I have to block to survive. Alright, I think we kind of... Unless something significant... Oh, that was kind of significant, actually. That was actually kind of significant. Roaring Earth. Alright, but... You still can't play your lands fast enough. Uh, 3-3-3-4. We'll block to make sure nothing out of hand happens. But that's the only reason. We're threatening lethal with all these creatures, so let's just make sure they don't threaten it back. Yep. But yeah, the ability to control out your opponent is why, like, Venture's forced to go into Tomb of Annihilation is the reason why a Sararak has some issues. If you do want to build around a Sararak, you have to go so hyper aggro that even when your opponent's the aggro deck, it's still better for you to go aggro. That's a very hard buy. Sigardan Savior does not work with a Sararak. Like, these two cards I feel cannot exist. If they exist in the same deck at the very least, I think these, Fate's Reversal being 1 mana, I think makes it good enough. But Undead Butler, you just rather play, something like Dungeon Crawler and just get creatures that are going to die quickly and then just move forward. Gain graveyard value? I just have no faith in this Sigardan Savior, being that it's a 5-mana 3/3 that just brings out 2-drops. Like, Barrowin is doing the same thing this is, except Barrowin is doing it recursively, and this card is asking for more. So, if I were to build this deck... Yeah. The few times it's come in hand, I've had to discard it. So I think that's pulled. I guess I should have put it in my sideboard because we're still looking at this deck. What about Inquisitor Captain? How many... Okay, so hold up. How many creatures do we have? 28. And only 3 of them? Okay. I like that. That's a good switch. That's a good switch. This, even if it pulls a Sararak, like, this might pull a Sararak, which could be a weakness. If we go Inquisitor Captain, we want to have a full 4 of. I think this deck is strong enough on the curve we can actually knock down a land each. Because, yeah, now that brings it to 24 lands. Yeah, definitely could do that knockoff. Alright, let's try Inquisitor Captain here. I think that's a good pick. That's a really good pick. Yeah, I think if your deck can play Inquisitor Captain as its top end, it should play Inquisitor Captain as its top end. And a Sararak actually does work in that. I think a Sararak in an Inquisitor Captain deck is a good way to start going about this. Alright. Black, white, green. Opponent goes first, which is unfortunate, but we're going to carry on. Opponent going first actually kind of hurts. Having no 1-drops for a more aggressive deck is also a bit painful. Alright, so we have a discard being one of the Sararaks. Oh, wrong one. Okay, so lose 1 life, discard a card, sacrifice a creature, an artifact, and a land. The land might be 1 space too expensive. Alright, so we can play Forsaken Crossroads tapped. Attack with it. So we can attack with this, play Forsaken Crossroads to scry, Cloister Gargoyle, venture to the dungeon, sacrificing Cloister Gargoyle and the land. And now we can't. Okay. Okay. If they exploit with School Scab, they're making a mistake. Just straight out. Alright. Let's get a green and scry. Alright. I will try to do Tomb of Annihilation because we have double Acerac, so we kind of have to. Cloister Gargoyle, being an artifact creature itself, will probably have to be sacrificed as the creature to prevent us from having an artifact to sacrifice. So... you can just call him Archlich if you think that's easier. I'm just calling what feels right. But, yeah, this deck has more aggression than us. It's much more low to the ground because it has more 1-drops. Alright, Nadar... so I think Nadar is the correct play, but if I go into the Oubliettes, we just, yeah, we have to sacrifice Nadar, we can't get another trigger, and we lose the game, basically. So I think we go to Veils of Fear, discard one of the Aceracs. I know it's not the path you want me to take, but I think it's the path. And that will allow us to complete the dungeon despite that move. I like that. So now I can play Barrowin, venture to the dungeon, attack with Nadar, get the 4/4, Death Toucher, and then Acerac is playable. Alright. Now this is a smart exploit. Problem is, we don't have a kill for the Champion of the Perished. Alright. So that Champion of the Perished is going to be a severe issue in our side. Because we have to block it next turn, we can't block it this turn. So this is why removal is good in an aggressive deck, because it stops you from the other person from applying counter pressure. Right. Play Acerac. Yeah, I can't even finish this. I think I have to sacrifice the land. Yeah, I have to sacrifice the land to survive. And I think we just lost. We used the 0/3 to block the 5/5. The 3/3 blocks the 2/2. One of the 2/2s, if we can. If they take out our blocker, we're dead. Yeah, if they take out one blocker, if they have another kill spell, which they already have shown 2. Yeah. But yeah. Champion of the Parish gained the early snowball rolling. Was very valuable for them. Alright. I have to block the 3/2 or the 0/3. Could block like that. Okay. I think this is the way I get the tempo back to win this game. And then they just meet hook for 2 and I lose. If they meet hook for 2, this game was never going to be won anyways. Because they had just the right cards in the right time. Alright. So. We play Acerac. I know the dungeon's not complete. That's okay. But we venture to the dungeon and we do complete it. And this is what I'd say. This one turn, not getting a Serac here, really hurts. But we have a solution. You see? A Serac's in our bin, as well as Nadar. So now I attack with Barrowin. You decide. Do I want a Nadar or a Serac? Is basically the big question. I actually think we're at that corner where I need to play Nadar. I need to grab Nadar instead of the other and go into Dungeon of the Mad Mage just to gain 1 life. I think we are that close to the ledge. Alright. Now we have a Death Toucher for the 5/5. We will have to bring back the Gargoyle to deal with the Abomination. I'm assuming this is where they play a card to sacrifice and kill one of my creatures, and then just call it game. Yep. Yeah, I have to block all the creatures, and I don't have enough blockers. Yep. What? Well, we're dead anyways. Because they got 6 damage through Falcon Abomination. Yep. Unfortunately, one of the big problems with this deck is that if you're just trying to tempo on board, there's other decks that can tempo on it faster, exhibited there. I don't like the Undead Butlers. Just straight out, these Undead Butlers haven't been cutting it for me. The Citric Farmers have shown that they can pull their weight, but the Undead Butlers have not. I would rather have either Dungeon Crawlers or... If we want to go aggressive, Dungeon Crawlers, otherwise Precipitous Drop could work. 28 creatures. We'll try the Dungeon Crawlers for a little bit. Get myself a 1-drop that I can actually use to contend against those decks, as well as apply aggression when I need to. Or just discard for Oubliettes and such. Alright. I don't want to do too many more games with this. I started this as is because a person on stream wanted it, and I'm happy to help the stream, but I need to get back to my games that I was planning on playing. Alright. This is going for black. It's coming in scrying because we're not going to be able to play Barrowin anytime soon. Alright. I didn't mean for you to play it this long. It's sorry. Hey, I chose to play it this long, okay? It's not your fault. Never blame yourself for what I do. I'm going to go with green so I can play Varus if I need to. I think we have our curve, and that will complete all our last conditions. With Forsaken Monument Crossroads? Alright, so it's a tap land that can come out at any color you want. So you just choose the color when you play it, and then if you go first, you scry, then it comes to play and you can scry 1. Or if specifically you are going second, you can choose, instead of scrying 1, to just have it come into play untapped. Alright. I'm just trying to decide if I want the Varus or the Nadar first. I can trigger Varus on the turn I play them, so I'm going to go with the Nadar first. Alright. They haven't gained life yet, and as long as the Treslara isn't gaining them life, we'll be good. Alright. Quizzer Captain next turn. So here is the power play. So green. Varus. Now we Dungeon Crawler. Oh, we already entered the Oubliette. Okay. So, just make sure we have no artifacts. Alright. Oubliette. We'll discard a Sararak, because we could find some reanimations. Alright, discard a card. Sacrifice a creature, an artifact, and a land. Creature. Land, I'm going to go with the green for Forsaken Crossroads. Now we attack. We get Cradle of the Death God. Comes back to our hand. And now we have all the pressure. And while we do not have a Sararak, we have Inquisitor Captain, which could get a Sararak. We have Dungeon Crawler. Yeah. We have a lot of good positions that we could enter. Right now, nothing has more than 3 power, which is the main number I'm trying to avoid. So I just need to decide, do I need to scry 1 to get a land for Inquisitor Captain? Or do I just go back into Token Annihilation? Okay. Well, that solved my problem pretty quickly. Yeah, if I draw, like, Barrowin or something, this has Indestructible, so we just take the hit. Alright. With Inquisitor Captain, I say we just go for the kill. And here's Acerak. And this looks like a pretty good attack to me. So that's why Inquisitor Captain's great. Alright. They gain some health. And that last card has to be some way to interact with this board, or I think they're dead. So yeah, okay, Acerak. I will be clear, the Inquisitor Captain really did that. The Dungeon Crawler did a lot there. Acerak just came in at the end to make sure everything was good. And that's kind of the issue with Acerak. It can't be the finisher. It has to be, hey, you're done. Do you need anything else? No. Okay, okay. Not killing Acerak. Interesting. No blocks. I kill you. Quite easily as well. Yeah, I'm just gonna discard that. There you are. Game. And they even had the interaction. It just wasn't enough. Alright, that felt like a good deck. That felt good. The Inquisitor Captain, the Dungeon Crawlers has sack fodder. Like, that felt like a much better deck. And honestly, if your deck can support 3 colors, like, why not 3 colors? But yeah, I think I am gonna close it right here for now. But this actually, at the end, seemed pretty okay. I will warn you, adventure decks are not tier 1. Just straight out. No matter how you build this, it's not gonna be tier 1. That being said, we tried quite a few of these. Eliwick was not for the deck you want to play. Precipitous Drop, I'm okay with it not being here. I might replace the Fates Reversal for the Precipitous, personally, but you do you. I like the 3 Acerak, 3 Nadar, 4 Inquisitor Captain. I think this is a pretty good setup. The Eccentric Farmers, alongside Iganjo, Boseiju, and Taknuma, like, specifically Boseiju and Iganjo, like, the recurring Iganjo was fantastic, just flat out. I think if you're running Varus, you can justify running Eccentric Farmer, and it's definitely weird. This is definitely one of the weaker cards, but it's a common slot. If you find a better play, you could pull it out later. Like maybe the Precipitous drop is better, but this guarantees our land drops. It gives us more resources for when Barrowin comes down. Like, I think this is good. But yeah, I think this became a better deck. The Forsaken Crossroads these are very important for fixing your lands in a 3-color deck. You do have to accept that Varus might not be playable in some positions. Also, a deck just around Undead Butler and Ghoul Caller is good too. Yes, but I think that's going to be just a completely different deck. Anyways, yeah, I think this deck is as set as I'm going to get it. Maybe just like 2 Precipitous drops minus 2 Fates reversals. But that's like... This involves a little experimentation, and all the experimentation is at the common slots. You can use these cards, like put 4 ofs here, and like minus on the rares if you don't have enough. But yeah, a different deck with those 2 cards. Yeah, definitely. I'd be down later, but I have a list of decks that I still need to play. Life Alert, hopefully this was helpful for you. Yeah. It seems it was helpful for you. Thank you very much, Life Alert. Alright, well, have a wonderful day, man. I'm going to move on to other decks, but thank you for letting me try this out. Alright. So we did Alchemical Anvil. We did Mid-Range Squadron. Alright. Sean MD, Life Alert, were either of you here yesterday? Because if not, this is definitely the deck I want to play next. It was an update from yesterday's stream. Awesome. So we're playing Shigeki Sky Turtle next. Oh, I've been loving this deck. This is my specific deck I've been working on. But before we do it, I need to take care of a few things. I will be right back. Alright. Whew. So, I'm gonna do this. Hold my breath. So this is the deck that I've been working on because I want to build this deck. I'm planning to craft the rare cards for it. It is quite expensive, but this is a deck that I had a ton of fun with yesterday. So, probably gonna do it. Alright. Hey everyone. So with the Alchemy decks, well, they only support best of one. There was a deck that I enjoyed the most, so I decided to rebuild it, and I'm going to experiment with this a bit, and then possibly try it in best of 3. So, you may remember this deck from yesterday. Oglor, Devoted Assistant, has the ability that whenever a card is put by graveyard from library or hand, it creates a black 2/2 zombie creature token. And with Sky Turtle, I can discard a Sky Turtle to return a Sky Turtle to my hand and loop those. Basically meaning I can leave 3 mana open to counter spells with like Quadrix Command, or in this case Absorb Energy. This was saw coming previously. Also Mirror Shell Crab, which was a Divide by 0 previously. I want a sideboard now, so we're gonna try it with these 2 cards instead. So you leave the 3 mana open so that you can counter spells if they play a threat, and if they don't, you start looping the Sky Turtles to cause Oglor to create more zombies. You can stack multiple triggers of Oglor, so you will create 2, 3, 4 zombies per recursion, which is where this deck basically has its late game value. Just Oglor plus 2 Sky Turtles is a win condition. And what happened is during that last playthrough, Shigeki impressed me a lot. To the point I decided to bump it up to 3 and move the secondary 2-drop to synergize with Shigeki. So Weave of Harmony gives other enchantment creatures +1/+1, but the important part, you can tap a force to tap a copy target activated or triggered ability from an enchantment source, choosing new targets for the copy. So not only does it turn Shigeki into a 2/4, it makes the first ability allow us to mill more as well as get more lands, but also the channel ability allows us to return more permanents to our hand, and also Sky Turtle's enchantment. Not only does the loop now generate us an additional card, but if we want, we can discard a Sky Turtle to bounce 2 creatures to their hand. So Weaver of Harmony is the one that I decided I'm going to try out. From last time, I decided to put, now that we have Mirror Shell Crab, we now have 26 creatures. I think Death Balance Splat will flip more often. That's the hope. Willowgeist seemed like a card that I want in the late game, but not the early game, so I'm only running 2. Cobble Lancer, still sticking with a 3. Ishkana. The spider was good, but just did not support the deck in any way. It was just a genuinely good card that had nothing to do with the deck. So I decided to pull it out, and basically the sideboard instead supports it. So again, this is only best of 1. I can't play this in best of 3 right now because I need to craft all the cards. But Malevolent Hermits to help counter spells and basically support this strategy while applying pressure. If we face cards that are flying like Eye Twitches or the Dragons, we have Bamboo Grove Archers. Veilspawn Spiders are just over here in case I need more mill to go over with the Deathbond Sprouts. 3 Tangle Traps to just kill flyers and destroy artifacts. Liberators in case we face like the heavy enchantment deck. Just being able to generate more ways to kill enchantments and just be a 2-mana 2/2 is nice. And the Test of Talents, because the Magma Opus deck is running around and I need to get rid of Magma Opus, and I can't do it more, I need to do it more than once, and this solves the problem. So this is my sideboard. This could definitely get mixed around. I am still in the experimental phases of this, but generally this has felt like a good deck, and this is how I want to play it. So it is a slow, I think this is officially a control deck. Its win condition is a slow grind out. We aren't using Ishkana as a win condition. Or win condition gets aggro is literally just stop them from being aggro. We do have the engine of possibly just swarming the board with our opponent, which is where the Vile Spot Spires is supposed to come in, but it's weird. Alright, so we have Oglor. We have either Shigeki to Oglor or Oglor to Shigeki, depending on how I want to do this. I'm going to start by playing the island. Alright, with the Shaman Gas in play, I definitely want to play the Shigeki first. So, this is one of the big problems with Oglor. It's just a 1/1. So it could get killed by feats like the Shambling Guest. Alright. Alright, just discard a card. I'm going to get more lands here, so I think I'm going to actually get rid of Otawara. I'm just going to play blue, end the turn here. I'm holding up a counterspell, like combat trick counterspell, and Shigeki's trigger if I really want to. Alright. So they're just flooding the board. Block and kill. Alright. And let's just use Shigeki. Get myself a Forsaken Crossroads, which I could put on green. And do I want the third land? Yes, actually. Alright. Play Shigeki again. And... Alright. So now we're holding up Shigeki. We have a Quandra Command held up. We have a Mirror Shell Crab held up. We have options. And that needs to go. Unfortunately, none of these have the trigger of Oglor on them, but I think that's okay. We're killing those so that, while they're getting treasure tokens, we are, Alright, 2 creatures already in the bin. I'm gonna just Oglor and leave it with Quandra's Command. Alright. And I could also, if they have just a removal board sweep, I can just bounce Shigeki while getting myself a land in the process. Tergrid, God of Fright. Alright. I could bounce that back to their hand while pumping my Shigeki or something of that nature. Yeah, I like that. So we're gonna return a creature to its owner's hand and put 2++. Alright. Target creature to return to its owner's hand. Put 2+1/+1 cards on Shigeki. I should have put it on Oglor, actually. Oh well. Because I might want to use Shigeki's ability again. Alright, put Memory Deluge in the grave. Alright, Death Bonnet Sprout. And now we're swinging back. I will say Tergrid is specifically one of the greatest threats this deck faces because of all of its channel abilities. But if they play it as the Lantern, I could counter it. Oof. Can't counter that with this. Alright, so they discard my Oglor. The trigger works. Player sacrifices a creature. Let's see, we have... I'll sacrifice the Death Bonnet. Ooh, they're sacrificing the Shambling Ghast. Okay. I see what they're doing here. There's one. Killing there. Alright. +1/+1. And here's the question. Do I shuffle 3 cards back to my graveyard, or I bounce their... I'm gonna bounce their Henrika back to their hand. As I said, not putting the counters on Oglor was a mistake. Tergrid is specifically the greatest threat to this deck. So... not the best spot to be in, let me say that. I'm not sure there's worse spots to be in, honestly. Yep. Shigeki can get back some resources nonetheless. Initial crabs. The necrotic fumes my Oglor. They... I have to absorb identity this. That's very bad for us. That is very bad for us. Because I have to absorb identity or they just discard it. I could bounce back Shigeki. No. We're going to just absorb identity that. I could bounce back Shigeki, absorb it, and Shigeki only costs 1. Alright, but they maneuvered around my deck very well, and I'm getting wrecked for it. I'm going to quickly use Shigeki, get more cards in my grave. There we go. Not a good spot to be, but it's my spot. Alright, we need more blue. That's fantastic. I could channel this for 1, 2... Okay, so I can channel it to bring back 2 cards. I could also just exile Cobble Lancer to get Sky Turtle, but Sky Turtle, like, I can't channel with Tergrid in play. That's my big issue. So I think I have to pull back the Quadrix command, and probably the Willowgeist. We'll figure it out on my turn. Yep, now I have to in response. Alright. What do I use? Oh, this guy. Definitely Quadrix command. Do I just double Quadrix command? I think I'll grab the absorb energy as well. Alright. Hopefully this is enough. To say we're in a bad spot is to understate the situation. Alright. So we're going to leave this as is. We'll then bounce the Tergrid. When we need to, we'll bounce the Tergrid. Bring back the Shigeki. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And... yeah, we'll figure it out, but we're in a bad spot. Just flat out. Tergrid specifically. This is the one card that makes this deck get wrecked. Alright. Dark Creature, and shuffle some cards back to my deck. So let's see. Who has the... alright. Oglor has one. Willowgeist has one. I'm gonna put the Otawara back. I'm gonna put a Mirror Shell Crab back. Alright. Now we create some zombies. Yeah, basically. Ugh. Okay, thank goodness. I'm like, do I not have enough blue mana to use Absorb Energy? Alright, if they play Tergrid here, I Absorb Energy it. It's so funny that sometimes it's the 2/2 zombie and sometimes it's the... this card, but I played... it's not working properly. Yeah, I think I just counter this. It's not 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's not Tergrid. I can't counter this. Okay. So here's what's going to happen. They're going to target a card in my grave. So watch. They're going to target a card in my grave. The Cobbled Lancer. Okay. I'm going to respond by exiling the Cobble Lancer to draw myself a card. Oh, now they can play Turgid. That was the play. That's why that was their play. They don't play Turgid here. Alright. More blue. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Alright, if they attack with this, they lose it. If they play Turgid, they lose it. Okay, so... Yep. Alright, so I'm playing Weaver of Harmony. I could Sky Turtle back Shigeki. We actually have a... We might actually find our way back in this. They can't play Turgid now because we have Absorb Identity. Attack with Graveyard Trespasser. I'll triple block a kill. I just make sure it dies. They try to take out Memory Deluge. I'll lose a Memory Deluge. I have another one at the bin. Waiting for me. Just make sure there's no trick. This Henrika is definitely causing an issue. No doubt there. My turn. Alright. We're going to bring back Shigeki. And next turn I can 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Alright. So I can Sky Turtle to bounce a creature, channel it to do it again. Yeah. I think we're back in the driver's seat, everyone. I think we're back in the driver's seat, despite them having Turgid. The highest mana value amongst creatures they control. Alright. So here's the trick. They have 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. Alright. Target a creature. And I can double that effect up, protecting my Weaver of Harmony. So now Enrica's back in their hand. There we are. If they play Enrica, I might just absorb Identity. Because they can't play it. I could Shigeki 1, 2, 1, 2. Yep. There we are. Alright, so I'm playing Weaver. 1, 2, 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So if they do nothing, I can Memory Deluge. If they do something, I can Shigeki for 4, bring back the Absorb Identity, and absorb the Turgid. Alright. I'll have to accept this, the second Henrika. I'm gonna Memory Deluge to solve that problem. They have to either draw a card or lose a life. Should every deck run Involving Wilds? No. Every deck should run Forsaken Crossroads, yes, but for Evolving Wilds is very rare to be as good. Alright. So, you're disrupting our combo a bit, but this is worth. Into Quantrix Command. Alright. Counter target artifact or enchantment spell. And, we're gonna return the Henrika Domnathi. There we go. Alright. Oglor is fantastic, and it's the buffed Oglor. Quandrix Command is fantastic. I already played a Lannister, right? Yep. Alright, we're playing Oglor. Alright, so they need a board clear here. Alright, you can take this for Zeju. But yeah, we pulled this back, everyone. Look where we are. We were dead. Now we are here. Alright. Can I Quandrix Command to kill that? Nope. Don't care. Alright, we want the Shigeki in hand. Alright. If they block with Henrika, I'll just Quandrix Command to kill it. Alright, so here's the big question. With 2+1 cards, I'd shuffle 3 cards. So 2+1 cards here. And what 3 cards do I want to shuffle back in? I'll shuffle back in this Shigeki. I'll shuffle back into both Seiju. And Otawara. I think that's my 3 picks. There you go. And I have a double return with Shigeki. Another Henrika. It's hilarious. Soul Shatter for the most expensive one. I will be losing my Weaver of Harmony here. Each player sacrifices a creature. Okay. I'm keeping my Oglor around. I'm fine here, believe it or not. Alright. We want one of our Colossal Sky Turtles. I think we reback our Weaver as... I'm gonna grab the Quandrix Command, actually. Alright. This allows me to keep the Shigeki in hand as a value card. If I Sky Turtle... Hold up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We are 1 mana off Sky Turtle and holding up Quandrix Command. So we're just gonna end our turn here. Alright. Can't believe we're getting this far in. Alright. Counter artifact spell. And... I don't want to return the Henrika, I don't think. I think I'm just gonna, Alright. We're gonna bring... Also, by the way, I am immune to self-mill. Now we have some tapped zombies. And I actually have the Colossal Sky... Okay, my turn. Let's begin. What this deck was built to do! Sky Turtle. For Sky Turtle. So now that he has a tapped zombie on it, Sky Turtle for Sky Turtle. Gain this back and create a 2/2 black zombie. And now I shall slowly build an army of 2/2 black zombies. Unless I just win the game this turn, actually. Yep. We pulled that back, everyone. That one game is all you should need to know of if you love or hate this deck. We pulled that back when they had a turn 5 Turgrid into another Turgrid. Yeah, I love this deck in case anyone was wondering. It's a control deck. I am the monster. I am the monster. I cannot deny that. Also, we can't get milled. He still had more cards in deck than us. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Whew. So yeah. This deck is bananas. B-A-N-A-N-A-S. And I love it. They didn't have a Go Blink, though. I will state, this deck has a lot more issues when they play Go Blink. Alright. Death Bonnet, into Weaver, into Hold Up and Absorb Identity. Or Absorb Energy. This Forsaken Crossroads will be played on turn 4 to make sure we get more value. Oh my gosh. That felt so good. That felt so good. Alright, Sprout. I just realized Sprout really anti-synergizes with Forsaken Crossroads. Well. We're playing this on blue because we want to be able to absorb identity later. I will trade, happily. Alright. Yeah, Generous Visitor is a threat. Just straight threat. I probably look weird playing the Enchantment Creature Tribal deck without the Enchantment Creatures. But yes, the Enchantment Tribal, basically it's draw Conjux Command or bust is my issue. It's why my sideboard has, my sideboard has the additional responses. Wow. I might just attack, try the Kami of Transience. Alright. Well, Absorb Energy isn't hitting any targets, other than since we got a bunch of lands. I mean, it's the support part of it isn't hitting many targets. Yeah, I'm not absorbing a Spirited Companion. I appreciate the effort, though. They didn't get Mana Rune, did they? If they do, I might have a chance despite getting Mana Flooded. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And, yeah. 6 lands, 3 playables. So, we are making Mana Flooded. Our deck hopefully can pull itself out of this. I can play the Forest, Otawara, hold up Otawara, as well as Absorb Energy. They think, oh god, what is he holding up? The answer is diddly squat. Do you really have no land? Okay. Oh, they were trying to decide and they want to wait to see my responses first. Makes sense. Makes sense. Alright, we're holding up Otawara as well. If Weaver dies, it flips Deathbond Sprout, and that's good enough for me. Yeah, Absorb Energy just being a counterspell is good enough. The fact that it has the leverage to be more is what makes it insane. If they just pump the Kami of Transients, I could just bounce it back with Otawara after they sink their mana in, which is the cool part. But yeah, we definitely got more sink of lands over playables. Alright. How do they map out these +1/+1 counters? If they distribute them properly, there's not much I can do about it. Alright. So 4/4, a 2/2, and a 3/3. I'm going to absorb Jugen. I can't block yet. I have to wait for Deathbond to flip. I need one of my Quandrix commands, because that card is so valuable in this situation. Alright, flips. That's good. Okay, Shigeki brings back 2 cards with Weaver of Harmony. Not worth. Not worth. If I play Otawara, I can hold up Absorb Identity while playing the Shigeki as a 2/4. I think that's how I have to do this. Yeah, we just need to hold them off. Shigeki hopefully gets me more value later. Can block a large, generous visitor and bounce itself back to hand. And then the Weaver... Alright. Their Weaver needs to go ASAP. There's just too many things that Weaver can do. So no Candoozly from me. That Kami of Transients, we need one of our bounces. We have several. We have several. If they attack with a Generous Visitor, I will trade Deathbond at Hulk for it. That's okay. Take out their Weaver of Harmony. There we are. This is a double bounce spell. I want more blue. Don't need more lands. 1, 2. Alright, cool. I like my position now. I think I could come back from this position. Which is so weird with so few cards in hand and the board state that's so devastating. Like, and that's why I love this deck. Because it could be in these devastating positions, I could still feel somewhat confident in my ability to come back. Alright. Alright, so should I ramp out the Shigeki since they did nothing this turn? Or should I, like, bring back Weaver Harmony and Absorb Identity or something? I think I ramp out... if I ramp out the Shigeki, I need to find Quandrix command specifically. But I'm going to get a lot of lands in the process of this, so... Ew! And there's my Quandrix command, by the way. Alright. All the Storm Giants. My graveyard. My graveyard is stronger than your graveyard. How do you feel about that, Yuki boy? Hey, Quandrix command. Alright. So I can play this. I could hold Quandrix Command and Sky Turtle, but that missing that land there really hurt. But the ability that I could counter an enchantment spell, bounce back Alchemy of Transience, and still hold up the bounce spell if I'm desperate, feels fantastic. Alright. We're going to see how they distribute the counters. Alright, so they're making that. Alright, 4-4, 4-4. By the way, that's a 2-2. Alright, turn that to a 3-3. Alright. Can I target artifact enchantment spell? Sure, creature plays walk to its other's hand. Alright. And now they have nothing bigger than my Death Bonnet Hulk. Control! And controlling using the board. Because I'm now a complete degenerate. Complete degenerate. That's the hint. Alright. I'm gonna make this one green, actually. Yes. Yes, please. And we end our turn. We still haven't gone Oglore ready, but doesn't matter. Oh, there's all our Quandrix commands. Alright. So, here's how I'm going to do this. Discards Colossal, Sky Turtle. Make sure my land's all good. Yep. Alright. I'm returning this Quandrix command. And then I'm going to tap Weaver of Harmony. To bring back a different Quandrix command. Because this card is so good in this matchup. Alright. Let's see. I'm going to Quandrix command, countering a spell. I'm just gonna return one of these Generous Visitors or the Alchemy of Transience because it's more mana inefficient. Maybe we want to do the Generous Visitor because the +1/+1 counters, but... Alright. That deals 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Darn it, I have to sacrifice Shigeki. We do take a hit, but we are alive. I'm going to eat their Jukai Naturalist. We have 2 Quandrix commands and a Hall of Storm Giants. So I think we... Can we prevent lethal? Unfortunately, not really. Oof. Oof. Big oofs in chat. But we got close. Like... Think about how horrible this position was, and we got close. But yeah, need to leave the Weaver of Harmony up, it seemed. No card. They might not play into it, knowing that Quandrix command is sitting at their doorstep. Alright. How do they distribute the counters? Alright. Countered. And they're trying to make 4/4s with trample. So I think they're stuck on land, so we bounce a Kami of Transients. They were very smart in how they did this, though. No denying that. Good game. We got close. Can I just state we got close? Like, one more turn. Oh my gosh. We held on. And keep in mind, that game started with us getting mana flooded, and we pulled our way out. Ugh. Alright. Death Bonnet into... Opponent goes first, so we could go into Shigeki if we need to. Yep, blue for Shigeki, the Dream Root to hold up Absorb Identity, and Mirror Shell Crab, and Shigeki's ability. Yeah, it's holding so many things up for 3 mana that makes this deck so devastating. Yeah, this will be tapped for blue and played untapped, so I can play Shigeki. And I'm gonna attack it. Show me what you got. Alright, no. Alright, you gonna kill my Shigeki? It's more food for the Death Bonnet. More food for the Death Bonnet. Alright. Yep. Alright. Keep in mind, if I use the Mirror Shell Crabs as my channels, it makes it easier for Death Bonnet to flip. Oh, this is the Hinata deck. Alright. This is the Hinata deck. Our priority is making sure they can't play Hinata to the Dawn Ground, which they will try to do next turn. Not for this matchup. Only one creature in there? That's okay. Goes out with the second Death Bonnet, because Death Bonnets help one another. Yeah, if they play a Hinata, we just lose, so we have to hold up our counterspell mana. And they're probably going to hold up. The idea is they want to have 2 mana open, so they could Jawari Disruption if I get a counterspell, but Mirror Shell Crab is not a spell, so I'm safe. Alright. If they kill one of my Death Bonnets, I accept it. Really? Rather play that as a land than as a response. Alright. See how they respond. Unexpected windfall. It makes my crabs useless, but I think we have to stop Hinata. I think we must stop Hinata. So this is a deck where I would board in all my test of talents to deal with stuff like that. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Alright, so they have enough to Magma Opus. Goldspan Dragon. How many creatures? 1. Alright, so I want a Mirror Shell. Oh, Mirror Shell, they'd have the mana for it. If they use a counterspell, it's okay. Alright. My fear is that they have Hinata behind that. Alright. Okay. Playing the Cobbled Lancer. I mean, it gets my will guys bigger. I think that's good enough. Go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So my guess is they're going to try a Magma Opus on my turn, and I have to Mirror Shell Crab it. Because of that, I must have 3 mana open at all times. Yep. Stop the Farewell. They only have 2 mana, and it's not a spell, so they can't use Jawari Disruption to stop it. Which I think is what they're doing right now. They're trying to hit Jawari Disruption, and it's not working. The Mirror Shell Crab not being a spell won me that game. Also, it was synergized with my saplings, so it was just good stuff all around. Good stuff all around. But yeah, this is the control deck that is aggressive against control decks, it seems, but Alright. I think this might just be my last game just due to time frame, but I've had a fantastic running of this. Alright, Joestar. Oh, heads! Alright. Death Bonnet into holding up Sky Turtle. Into this on a blue to hold up Absorb Identity and Quadrix Command. So Sky Turtle can just be a 2-mana discard bounce spell, and it even fuels Death Bonnet Sprout, so using it as that is not even bad. Pretty awesome. Pretty awesome that we're in this position. Alright. I can also choose to just Weaver of Harmony. Depends on what they do here. I don't think I'm going to worry about an immediate 3-drop. You got the Snow-Covered Forest, but not the Snow-Covered... You got the Pixelated Snow-Covered Forest, but not the Snow-Covered Mountain. Alright. Alright, what? Not a weakness. I was going to say I can't double bounce using Weaver of Harmony plus Sky Turtle, but I can. Alright. So, this is the new Foretell deck. 100% of the time. Okay, 90% of the time. I need this for the blue. We went second, so we get to play it untapped. So they're gonna have a 2-mana 3/2. Attack with both. I'm just gonna absorb if they play it. All right. I have Quandrix Command and Absorb Identity ready. Alright, I could actually use the green. Hold up Colossal Sky Turtle double channel to get back the Colossal Sky Turtle and the other Weaver. They don't have as many artifacts or enchantments in that deck, so... Alright. Do I want the Forsaken Crossroads? Try to guarantee my curve. No. I'm going to just attack like this. I'll slow myself down to make sure I have plenty of responses to what they do. Hold the multiverse. Alright, they're just drawing cards. We want to counter the cards that develop, not the cards that draw them. Alright. Yeah, the ability to Colossal Sky Turtle into the Weaver of Harmony and the other turtle already, even though we don't have Oglor, that's just so much value. I guess it's not so much value, it's literally just plus an additional Weaver of Harmony. But the Weaver of Harmonies, their abilities are serious abilities. Alright, Foretell another card. Alright. I know it nerfs my Death Bonnet a little bit, but I think it's the correct play. Bring back the other Colossal Sky Turtle. Do they have a counter spell of their own? Yeah, they might have. Sky Turtle can bring back Sky Turtle. I did not know the recursive trigger can recur itself. That's so good. Blue? Yep. I'm gonna attack first, actually. They want to counter the Weaver. They have the other Weaver still to deal with. Oh, right, they pump each other. Alright, -1 damage. My fault. Yeah, they're drawing a lot of cards, but they're not drawing into anything right now. The main threat is what's it called? The main threat is Hullbreaker Horror, which doesn't have the can't be countered clause anymore. That has hexproof, so we're just absorbing that now. Alright. 2, 3. We're going to put this in green. We're just going to leave it tapped and scry. Scry more. Get the Death Bonnet hopefully triggered soon. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I could almost just play across the Sky Turtle. Earth Desert Doom. Okay. It has Ward 4. That's actually okay. If I could just get lethal here. You know? Alright. That's not a thing I'm too worried about them seeing coming. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh! Lethal. Return target creature to its owner's hand. That's only Ward 4. And that's lethal. Okay. Yep. Even when I don't get Oglor, this just has enough on-the-ground pressure that just keeps dealing with issues. Yeah, no. I like how this deck is shaping up. I think that's it for me. That was okay, one more game. One more game. But yeah, this is fantastic. I'm loving this deck. Yeah. Like, in my sideboard, I have more Enchantment Destruction. I have more Flyers. I have more, like instant sorcery spell kind of disruption. And those seem to be themes I was missing. Okay. So, problem. Our first play is at 3 mana. Okay. I have a Shambling Gas in play. But now I have a 1/3, a 2/2, and a 3/3. I'd say that's a pretty good turn 4, even if I miss my land drop. Blade of the Oni. Okay. One of these days I will just bounce that. And then I'll have a Quandrix command ready behind it. Yep. Well, that was 5 games. I think I won 4 of them. Yep. Shigeki Sky Turtle. And we haven't been able to sideboard, but I think this is just a solid deck. Yeah. If anything, I've just been convinced that I need to go down 1 Oglor, up 1 Shigeki, but that's like the only change I could think of doing. Exactly 2 Memory Deluges is right. Mirror Show Crab was fantastic in playing around the opponent's Jawari Disruption. Because it can't be countered itself because it's an activated ability, so it has to be countered by other Mirror Shell Crabs. Sky Turtle doing great. Weaver of Harmony felt good with all this stuff. Works good in combos, in pairs. The 4 Death Bonds, 2 Willows felt right. Yeah, no. This is I'm going to craft the physical cards for this deck. I think it's going to cost me like 18 rares and a few mythics as well. But I'm going to do it because I think that was that good. Right as Orca Lord raids me with a party of 3. Hey, Orca Lord. We just finished playing this Shigeki Sky Turtle deck, which went 4-1. Felt fantastic. And we're about to go raid someone else because I need to go eat dinner. Thank you very much, Discrom93. AK Rollsack, how's it going? Ander93. Yeah, thank you, everyone. You literally came as I was closing up and about to raid someone else. Raid train! Yep. Thank you very much, Orca Lord. I really appreciate it. And you too, AK Rollsack. I'm assuming you're the one that sent them because I know you are in my follows and stuff like that. So, I really appreciate every one of you. Orca Lord, anyone who sent in, and everyone who's starting to follow. Hey! Yeah, you guys are all awesome. Thank you so much. I do appreciate it. We were just playing a deck where we were using this big fat sky turtle and throwing him in the grave a bunch of times with these two little weenies, and we would just win the game over by like just swarming the board with that effect. It was pretty fun. It looks pretty stupid, but we just won almost every game, and the one game we lost, we were one turn away from controlling the board. We drew 6 lands in the opener, and yeah. So yeah. No. Oh my gosh. Thank you guys so much. I'm sorry I'm going to close up now. Hey, I'll raid AK Rollsack. I wonder if he's on. Don't worry about it. Ooh, Super Feels. Alright, so Super Feels is a super chill dude. Super calm, friendly, all that sort of stuff. He's doing Pokemon Let's Go Eevee. He's doing a... Ooh, okay. He's doing a 24-hour cherry stream. I know one of his friends needed like a GoFundMe. I didn't actually ask for all of the different things, but basically for his friend, he's doing a GoFundMe sort of thing, and so he's doing a 24-hour stream to kind of support them right now, and it's just super awesome. So let's go raid my good friend Super Feels. Alright. Hope you guys all enjoy that. Awesome. Alright, have a wonderful day. Thank you guys all. You're so wonderful people. Absolute legends, all of you.